Today's episode was sponsored by Loot Crate, the subscription box for the geek, gamer, and or nerd in all of us. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items of gamer and pop culture licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/kfgames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on any new subscription. This year thus far, there have been crates featuring some exclusive items from Star Wars and Voltron, as well as some epic geek apparel from your favorite shows. A crate all about strategy games, a crate all about covert operations, and there's only more awesomeness to come. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. So go to lootcrate.com/kfgames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on your new subscription today. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 46 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one half of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller. The other half, Colin. I don't know where he's at.
He's doing his Colin things.
Doing Colin stuff.
Getting new tattoos, learn about the American Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping I was the other half, but I'm also just
Well, we replaced him with another one
Hi.
of the coolest dudes in video games,
I'll take it.
Adam Kovic.
Hey, guys.
Of Funhaus
Hi.
fame.
Wait,
No,
I
don't
should-
clap for
I
yourself.
should
That's
clap.
rude. That's
Oh,
rude.
right.
Don't do that.
I just didn't want to feel left out.
I'm really excited to have you here
It's
because
a,
it's been a long time coming.
We keep trying to have a Gauntlet Season 2 reunion,
Yeah.
and I think Justine keeps fucking it up. So
Yeah, Justine's the
that's
worst
fine.
at it. You know
Yeah,
that.
she's horrible.
Justine.
She's the worst.
Yeah.
Verified the worst.
I think we got you, me, and Freddie together at one time, and she was across. I think she was at the snack bar. We're like, Justine, and she walked the other way. It was
She looked at
weird.
her iPhone. She's like, sorry, guys.
Yeah, dude,
Gotta go write a
see you
book.
there.
Gotta write a book.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So my favorite thing about this is the fact that the internet's been clamoring for it. We got Kind of Funny. We got Funhaus. When is Kind of Funhaus going to happen? This is the beginning of it, and I'm excited about that.
Just to show how not clever I am, I didn't even think about that.
Really? That's amazing.
I tried naming our Chromecast at work, and I tried naming it Funcast, but I ended up naming it like Funcoust, so it looks like Holocaust or something like that.
My God.
I'm not a smart man.
You're like, yep, nailed it. Go.
Well,
Publish.
we just never changed this. Now it's like, hey, stream it to Funcoust.
Uh-huh.
I'm not smart. Yeah, no, totally. We need to be doing we're pushing for that ourselves. It's not like a mandate or anything because that's how the internet works. Collaborations are good, and obviously you do the ones that make the most sense. You work with people who you like, and it's nice. Fuck, I'm having flashbacks now. Back when we were doing a Gauntlet. And I thought you guys were like, I was like, that gay couple over there is so cool.
That's the funniest thing.
We really didn't think that through. We didn't think that through.
Even now thinking back on it, I'm like, really?
Well, because I was like, Greg's kind of a schlub, but it's like that good-looking guy right there. Like, he's like, oh, it's his boy toy. That makes sense.
But so just for some background on this, we all met each other back on Rooster Teeth, The Gauntlet Season 2,
Right.
where these two guys were on the celebrity guest team alongside Justine and Freddie Wong.
Celebrity.
Internet celebrity team.
Yeah.
And before I left, Tim's like, I want to go too. I love Rooster Teeth, and I want to meet all these people. And like, I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can be my. We were working on the show. We were doing producing stuff back at the hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, a whole bunch of people thought we were a gay couple.
Well, then that was
Cabana Boy.
I was a producer at IGN, and also I was producing things here. This is, I think it was before Game Over Greggy's show.
No, it wasn't, because remember we had just started it because we were doing thumbnails in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was that thing where you're like, can we use this thumbnail? And it was provocative. And I'm like, yeah.
No, but that was for Gregway.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't think Game Over Greggy's show was a thing at that point.
Okay.
No, it definitely wasn't. That was September.
Okay.
We started the show in November.
I'm sorry. I
It
apologize.
just had a weird
Jeez.
precedent. They were like, this
old
is
ball
my
and
man.
chain.
He goes where I go.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, fine.
I have
Like,
an entourage.
Yeah.
Of one person.
You guys like brought a PS3 and you were playing
Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
You
we were
couldn't-
fucking ready.
You guys didn't know how to steal a jet, and I'm like, you guys are, come on, give me this. And I remember trying to shoot with the PS3 control. I'm like, this is garbage. What the hell? God damn.
And none of us got the jet until way later.
Yeah,
Freddie
that's
sat there and fucking like
I think
nailed
Freddie
it
did.
out.
Yeah, Freddie was the genius.
But I didn't find out till years later that everyone there thought we were a gay couple, which is the funniest thing in the world.
Well,
to me.
I love the world where that I'm gay and I can get a guy as hot as Tim.
No,
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Oh
You're,
man.
he seems like a power bottom. Like, I don't know. Like, PNP power play.
The
yo.
funniest thing is that one was when I met my now ex-girlfriend Kara, and like we were flirting it up and stuff, and it's just like,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you guys not notice? Like,
I thought you were overcompensating. I was like,
Trying to make me jealous.
yeah, he was
yeah.
he's like, yeah, dude. I think we're having a conversation. Like, I love boobs. Boobs are so
Boobs,
good,
boobs,
right,
boobs.
guys? Women and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's trying
I
way
love
too hard.
holding them and hugging them. Women are cool.
Ooh, I love getting all sex in them. Yeah. Ooh. Then
so
he
ladies
goes
and
home
gentlemen,
fucks Greg.
this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast, where every
Hey.
week we talk about video games and stuff. It's not always video games. It is just most of the time. And it's great. If you want to get the show early, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Throw a few dollars. God damn it, Greg. I was about to say bones.
Not everybody
I
can
was
be
getting to
perfect
the
like
bone
me.
stuff. That's true.
Why
That's
didn't you
very
say
true.
bones? Do it yourself. Make it your own. You don't have to
Because I got
just.
caught up. I got caught up.
Did you guys lose money recently? I just saw there's another group or guy I follow. Your movie sucks, and he was talking about on Twitter how like Patreon took like $1,000 out because they're covering fees and stuff now.
They're just changing.
Yeah.
We didn't lose any money. It's like
they're being more like
transparent. They're
about
doing a
it, which
transparency
I think it's great.
test.
definitely.
Like I said, I think you
No,
guys are
Patreon's fucking
fantastic.
awesome. I love them. They're great people, and they're always trying their best to combat the evils of the internet.
I'm trying to imagine an opposite world where Tim was like fuck Patreon. And he's just taking their money. He's like, God, I hate that.
This whole system's broken.
No, they're good dudes.
You can't say anything.
And dudettes.
No, I could. I could say whatever the fuck
You
I
could,
wanted
actually.
to. There's a lot I don't like about them.
We talked to them a while ago. This is back when we were at Machinima, and we were talking to them about. We were like, this thing's new and it's different. Like, because like our fans started a Patreon for us. We're like, please don't do that.
Stop
We have
that
jobs.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
yeah.
stop. But then they called us and they were like, hey, what can we do with this? And we were like, maybe we can get like a fan fund going or something like that. All I remember was Bruce was on his back trying to light his fart with a candle. That's the only memory I have of that phone call. And I was like, we're professionals. This is good. And we like, I remember we walked away and being like, yeah, that was a good talk. That was a good talk. But I have a photo of Bruce on his back trying to light a fart with a candle. Those were towards the end of the days, so we were
towards the end
you were
of the
checked
day.
out.
we were
bit.
checked out. We're like end of the year, we're done here. Gotta go. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
fun.
remember when we did ours and announced we were leaving and launched the Patreon and everything was going super successful. Then you guys were like, "We're gonna leave too." I was like, "Oh God, please don't start a Patreon."
Yeah,
we feel like we're doing so well right now, and I don't need you coming in being real internet people.
Yeah. I mean, we were at a cross. I think I've talked about this on my podcast before, but like, it was sort of like, do we go indie? Do we go with the Rooster Teeth? And like, I love the Rooster Teeth guys. Obviously, after the Gauntlet, I was like, I remember I did this thing where I had an extended lunch with, it was Freddie and Matt Hullum, the CEO, still CEO. And I remember he like showed me around and he was like, oh, I got to do some work. Do you want to just go do a quick tour on your own? I was like, sure. I was walking around and Jordan, the guy who does the RTAA, the animated adventures, he was animating while watching a Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time speed run. And I'm like, this is the fucking coolest place in the world. And I remember I was sitting in a chair across from him and I'm just staring at a wall. And he was like, everything cool? And I'm like, I want to work here. I like this place.
Yeah.
I'm finally home.
Yeah. And so like talks kind of started after that. And like, so it was, I thought what you guys were doing was cool, but then like we were 7 guys and I was like,
Yeah, you had a different overhead.
we need a daddy. And Bernie was the perfect daddy.
Yeah, Bernie is the perfect daddy.
He's a good daddy. He can't hear this right now because he's doing the Amazing Race. So.
Yeah.
So we can say whatever we want.
We can say
about
whatever
him.
we want about Bernie. It's great.
Here's what I'll put on the table. I've said it before and I'll say it again and then I'll direct it as you as well. I don't like that Bernie's a team fat quitter and I don't like that you're a team fat quitter. This is outrageous. This is not what it was. This is not what it was at the Gauntlet. At Gauntlet, I was like, yeah, another schlub. And now you're here, you look all fucking hot, making my gay tendencies come back out.
remember,
I left that life behind at the Gauntlet, Adam.
makes sense why you live in San Francisco. It's fine. I think LA is probably gayer, which is fine. But I'm just saying.
That was the other thing about at the Gauntlet is like everyone's like, oh, that's the 2 guys from San Francisco.
Yeah.
They must be gay. Then I'm like, oh, I guess
I'm like,
that's where it comes from.
I worked in West Hollywood, and like I have more gay friends than I can really like think of. Like it's not like a thing you think of where you're just like, people are gay out here.
That's
like,
totally out the window, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With gay being a thing. You're
it's
just like,
Eric and his boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just a thing. I don't know. So it's like when I saw you guys, I was like, oh, cool, gay couple.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
I was like, of course they came to Austin. This is an accepting place. It's fine. They weren't afraid of all the pitchforks.
Yeah.
Forgot what the fuck I was saying. Oh yeah,
You're a quitter. You quit Team Fat.
I quit Team Fat because you met me right when I was in my sad fat phase. I was never really like fat, but I had a gut. I was like, I remember
You're like a normal person, not an Adonis.
I was sitting at a bus stop, I remember, and I was trying to go to work, and I remember getting him going, I did the fatty grunt. And I remember doing that, and I was like, fuck, that was a fatty grunt. And I started CrossFit around that time.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I need to go to boot camp. I need to just kick my ass. And that was during the Gauntlet. I hurt my leg because fuck CrossFit. I was they were trying to teach me how to run, and they make you run on your tippy toes, and they're like, "This is how people run. You could run forever. You run on your tippy toes. You lean forward just a little bit. Momentum will carry you, baby." And I'm like, I have like tight calves, so I was just like, "Ow, ow, ow!" And I ran around. And remember like hurting, and then they're like, "Now we're gonna do jumping jacks, and now we're gonna do jump ropes." And then I was doing jump ropes, and I'm like, "This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good." And the drill instructor, basically the CrossFit guy, is like, "Go, go, go!" And then I landed, and something popped, and I was like, fuck was that? And I was like, it really hurts a lot. He goes, oh, you're really injured. You need to sit down. And I'm like, fuck you, CrossFit. Fuck you so much.
CrossFit, man.
Yeah. And so then
CrossFit, man.
And then that next week I went into the Gauntlet, and that's why I was legitimately limping. I'm like, ow, ow, this sucks. But I only did that for I think 6 months or something like that. And then I was like, okay, I know how to work out. I know how to go to the gym. I know how to like, and then I work with a bunch of like basically, fitness instructors like James. And
Your
all those
team
guys.
is like ridiculously good looking. It's
We're a lot of-
upsetting.
Peak is, I would say, is probably the most in shape guy. He's the quietest one that you've probably seen there. But like, I remember going to his hotel room one time years ago, and he always wears like thick clothing or whatever. But I remember he answered the door and he was only in boxers, and I was like, "Fucking dude is ripped.
Yeah.
I was like, dude is shredded. Why do you hide it?" I think he just gets cold.
Oh, okay.
He just gets cold.
Yeah, even Spool, he started working out when he got his girlfriend. Like everyone's like,
It happens.
Now he's on the girlfriend diet, but that's
Yeah.
cool.
The girlfriend diet.
Yeah, I think as James says, no one survives the girlfriend diet. So, but yeah, I try to, and we're very fortunate too, because like Full Screen has a gym, my apartment complex has a gym, and I have a 24-hour fitness thing. So it's like, I pass about 3 gyms on the way home, and I'm like, I just feel guilty.
I gotta do one of them.
And then I started doing the space food thing with James and Bernie and all those guys. Well, Bernie did it after us, so
He's just jumping on the caravan.
I think Lawrence. I forget the order. I always try to give people proper credit. I think Lawrence started it first. You know what this stuff is?
I don't know what space food is.
Space
though.
food is like this.
Is it like the astronaut ice cream? I like that stuff.
That's what I thought too.
Museum
Right?
of Science and Industry. What up?
It's just this. I feel bad talking about this because they're not paying for this, so I don't want to give it like a resounding like, oh, buy it. But like I've been on this stuff and I'm cutting weight and stuff. But like it's just powder with water, and it's got basically every nutritional thing that you need. It's 670 calories. Just mix it in. It's basically a meal. I have one in my hotel room. I brought one with me. The airport usually doesn't like it because like, why do you have powder?
What's
And
this
then-
white powder?
Mine's chocolate. It tastes delicious. But it's a meal supplement. It's like some of the guys are doing it because like I don't know how you guys get, but like you get busy. You do not have time to go eat food.
No, yeah, 100%.
So sometimes just like put some water in it, shake it up, drink it, and then like
That's minus the fun of eating food, though.
I know.
But that's
I
like
know.
the most fun part of food.
I know.
Is the eating part.
I'm hanging out with you guys this weekend and we're eating.
Yeah,
Oh, we're going.
it's
Yeah, we're
gonna
going
be
to
good.
burritos after this.
That's
I'll
why.
be all right.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's getting cold. I can get a little layer on me. It's fine. Yeah. I don't know. Life's
So, okay, back on topic a little bit. Who are you? What is your journey? How did you get to be where you are at now
Oh God.
in the video game sense?
I am a college dropout. So, I mean, like, God, we can go all the way back. So, like, I always played games as a kid. I wasn't allowed to because my grades were bad. So, best memory was when Halo 2 came out. I think I was still in high school. I think I was in high school. And around the time Kingdom Hearts was a thing. I remember.
Kingdom Hearts is still a thing.
I was gonna say for Tim, it's never stopped being a thing.
Well, no. It was like my dream game. But
Yeah.
like every time I had a game console,
Naturally.
my mom took it away because my grades were bad. But I remember when Halo 2 came out, my mom was a cop, so she would work the late shift and she would be gone at like 4 a.m. So I'd wait till 4 a.m. when she left, and then I would string a 50-foot Ethernet cable from my room to the router so I could play Halo 2 online.
Nice.
Without her knowing, because I had an Xbox hidden in my room that my friend let me borrow. So it was like doing drugs basically. I was like always
Halo
trying to
2
hide it.
online. It's a drug.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I was trying to hide it from her. I was like, I had to hide it. So, I always wanted a career working in video games. And when I was in college, I got an internship at G4 right before. Do you remember the big, massive layoffs they did?
Yes.
Like when G4TV.com got canceled and all that stuff. I was interning from there at that transition. So they let everyone go. And the department I worked in, which was talent booking for Attack of the Show, emptied out. And my boss wanted someone to carpool with because he and I lived far away and I was his carpool buddy. He's like, hey, you want a job? Pays next to nothing. I'm like, I get to work at G4. Oh my God. Ended up being like a shitty place, but
Still, it's a foot in the door.
it's I say this to a lot of people. I'm sure you guys have dealt with this a lot too, where people are like, I want to work at IGN, or I want to work here. I want to work at Kind of Funny. I want to do this. Same with us. Like, I want to work at Rooster Teeth. And like from the outside, it probably looks like fun. You get inside, you're like, this is a lot of work. There's a lot of shitheads who work here. Not far less with Rooster Teeth, but like Machinima was kind of that way, where like there's a lot of like inner office bullshit you don't want to deal with that you will deal with on a day-to-day basis. I think Machinima and IGN were probably more alike than Rooster Teeth and Kind of Funny.
Sure, these giant companies, right?
yeah.
Different things happening.
Kevin.
Was there, so yeah, there's definitely. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, we all moved on because life is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very true.
But that was my mindset. I was a kid. I was like, G4, this is the greatest place in the world. And you got there and you're like, wow, there's a lot of inner office like politics and drama.
Yeah, this
you
is
gotta
still
deal with.
an office. This is
Yeah.
still a business.
And I mean, like I was essentially a PA and I got torn apart. And it was like, yeah, you like I think everyone should get their asshole ripped open at some point early in their career, because then
You learn. You understand the importance of the politics.
Yeah, and then
all
you
that.
appreciate stuff. And then like right now, where I'm at in my career versus where I was 10, 15 years ago, like I'm so happy. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with people screaming at me for eating Doritos on set. Like it's kind of nice. Also, free root beer was bad. I got really fat. So from there, one of the people got let go was Tina Wood. She was the host for G4TV.com, the show. Horrible name show.
Hold on. G4TV.com
was the name
the
of
show.
the show. Why was it canceled?
It's so easy to wrap your head around this concept.
But she was also one of the people I used to carpool with because I lived in this town, Santa Clarita, and we would drive down to LA with these people, and she was in my neighborhood. So I got to know her. She went like literally across the street, and she was producing in-store content for EB Games, which is now GameStop, for like in-store reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Hey, if you want a job, they pay $100 a day to do game capture." I was like, I'm literally getting paid to play video games.
Yeah.
You realize what a shit job
God.
that is.
Yeah, that the game capture job is the most bait and switch thing I think in the entire world, because it is.
Great.
You're getting paid to play video games, and you come in and it's like, oh, I don't get to just play this the way I want to. I need to play it specifically in this
hit
way
these points and do
like
this
make
thing.
it look good to the viewers and all this shit.
Yep.
And like, oh hell no.
That is a skill though, and I'm. It's a weird thing that I've forgotten that like I play games a certain way, almost like I am controlling the camera. Like there are people who are like super twitchy. I'm like, this is useless footage. I can't use this. Or we asked someone to get some Halo capture the other day, and they just weren't great at it, and it was unusable. We're like, can't use any of this footage. Like it's weird how that is a job. So yeah, I did learn a lot from there. But I remember one script specifically was Ninja Gaiden Black, and she wrote the script, and part of the review was like a special features, and one of them was if you beat the game on very hard mode, you can unlock Ninja Gaiden for the original whatever NES. I was like, fuck that. I can't play this. Like I can't. You ever play Ninja Gaiden? Like,
oh yeah.
Ninja Gaiden Black was impossible.
Yeah.
And so like part of my job in the script was beat the game, and I'm like, I have a day. Like I can't do this. So I ended up just recording an emulator, and I didn't.
Thank you. I was like, that's a fix, Adam. This is how you do it. Just do it this way.
Yep. And I was just like, I'll just stay very quiet. No
Yeah.
one will know.
No one will know.
So yeah, EB Games. You may have been ran some illegal footage.
Yeah.
I own the game.
If IGN only knew the amount of times I pulled one of those.
But yeah, from there, it was literally like one step to another. I was at this place called Channel M. I was between there. I was doing another internship, and I was about to go into film school. I know.
Dodge that bullet.
Very close. It was going to be $100,000 for 1 year.
No, great.
Learn how to use a camera.
Yeah.
But I doubled down on this place, Channel M, and I was working there. And lo and behold, I got an email that just said, Machinima is hiring. I'm like, I know the name Machinima. I know Red vs. Blue. I've never heard of the company. And all it said basically was, can you play Halo 2 and World of Warcraft? I'm like, I can do half of that. So,
How hard could WoW be?
and they were right down the street from the place. Like it was like near Santa Monica. I met with the guy. It was like a 3-man team, and I was like, this place seems cool. I can do some good stuff here. I was only like, I'm like 22 at the time, maybe. I forget how old I was. Either way, I was young. And I remember them sitting me at the table, and they're like, you can make $80,000 a year if you work here. And I was like, oh my God, that never happened. But I was sold on the idea. I was like, that's a lot of money. Oh my God. And then I worked there for a while, got caught up in the bullshit, didn't really like it. Took some time off. I worked on a house music documentary, learned a lot there. It all goes back. So it goes back to, I was at Machinima full time, and then the guy who I did the game reviews for quit or got let go from the EB Games job. And he was like, my dream is to do a house music documentary. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I need an editor. It will pay $80,000. I was like, you got me.
The magic fucking number for Adam. You mentioned $80,000. He's in.
I think actually that job, I can say it now. It doesn't really matter. I remember he told me, he's like, I will pay you $70,000 to edit this movie. He's like, oh my God, which in retrospect, I'm like, for an editor, that's nothing, especially because I was an independent contractor. So I lost half of it. And I was like, oh. And then after 9 months, he's like, I have no more work for you. You're done. So I called Machinima back. I'm like, can I have my job back?
Yeah.
And they had restructured a lot at that time, and they had hired like a director of like programming and production, and it was a completely different place when I came back. And I was like, okay, cool. So like I technically restarted at Machinima as like a full-time employee. This is, I think, after their YouTube deal went through and stuff, but like there was 9 months where I wasn't really there. And then I was at Machinima for 9 fucking years.
Jeez.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And then I met the Inside Gaming guys as they were, and the team that we built like only within the last couple of years. And then Funhaus happened. And then, yeah, the Rooster Teeth like full screen acquisition thing happened, and they wanted to expand to LA, and they talked to us, and now we're happy.
Yeah.
Things are good. Yeah. And we're busy, and I'm here talking to you guys. That's my entire journey.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
That's great, though. I mean,
see you next time.
What's cool to me about that is I've been a Rooster Teeth fan since day one with what they're doing. Like to see how they've grown and like have all these different hands and stuff. Like last week, it was announced that Screw Attack is officially now part of them, even though we all knew
crazy.
that was gonna happen.
Ruby's always the one that blows my mind. Where I'm like, this is an anime made in Austin. Texas.
Yeah.
That's now in Japan.
And like there are billboards and stuff. Like this is that is like true diversification of a company where they're doing one thing that you have Ruby fans over here and you have Funhaus fans over here, and there's probably not a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
There's probably
But
some.
somehow they make it work. Like, and that's the weirdest thing. Add an achievement hunter and red versus blue and all this stuff. And it's like, it's weird. It's weird that there is that much synergy between things. And like also the billboard, you're talking about Ruby. Like, did you see that there's this giant Ruby billboard in Japan?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's crazy.
fucking insane.
It's funny too because you guys met Miles, right?
Yeah.
I kind of look like him. So whenever we go,
and Bernie and everyone else there.
white people, dude. Yeah. So we were in Jack and I were in London not too long ago for MCM, the Comic-Con out there, and people I think kind of thought I was Miles, and so they wanted me to sign their Ruby stuff. I was like, sure. Like, I don't work on Ruby.
Miles Luna.
I just wrote, I am sorry. But yeah, there was one, I may have told this story before, but like, I remember we were at PAX East, and one dude came up to me and he was like, Miles Luna, how's it going? And I was like, not Miles.
Yeah.
I thought he was joking with me, and his girlfriend looked really embarrassed.
The best I get it. I've gotten it like 3 or 4 times where somebody runs up and they're like, I'm such a huge fan. I love your work, Colin. And I'm like,
Damn.
no. Like, I don't know. And like maybe 25% of the time they're like, I mean, Greg, oh God, I'm so sorry. But other times they're just like committed, shaking my
No,
hand.
for me, it's a good, like, there's a 20% chance that they're going to call me Nick.
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
It's the beard.
Undeniably.
Being white with a beard.
It happens, man.
Yeah,
It's the worst game of Guess Who possible.
Yeah.
Do you guys get the one, you're a lot taller in real life than I thought
Oh
you'd
yeah,
be?
I
He
get
gets
that
that
all
all
the
the
time.
time.
You're
Always
much
happens.
bigger than I thought you'd be.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, on your phone, I look like
Of course.
this small.
I never really get that. I guess I'm just an average dude.
You portray yourself accurately.
Yeah.
I slouch in my photos and I stand up tall. That way, if the internet wants to talk shit in real life,
You're
bring
like
it.
what, 6'2", 6'1"?
6'2", 6'3",
Yeah, you're
yeah.
a tall dude.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
bigger than me. It's fine. It's cool.
That's right.
I had one guy who's a fucking giant came up to us at E3 and he goes, "You're a lot shorter in real life." And I'm like, "Everyone's shorter to you. You're a basketball player." Like, you say that to everyone you meet?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
God, they're like, I don't know. Meets LeBron James. Wait, is he the dead one? Who's the one in the coma?
What?
Is it LeBron James?
No,
LeBron James is not in a coma.
James is.
The one that was
Lamar Odom. Sorry. Yeah. I was
Oh.
like, oh, I'll make sure I don't want to offend anyone. Then I call him the dead one, and he's not dead. You heard about that, right? What happened?
I did.
He went to like a bunny ranch, did a bunch of drugs, and now he's brain dead because like a Kardashian broke up. I don't know. I don't really follow.
I
this
did
shit.
not know
That's
this.
not a basketball player.
Did he wake up? What?
It's a basketball.
Oh, he
player?
woke up.
I don't know.
Lamar
I don't know.
Odom was a basketball player. Yes.
Yes. All
Yes.
right. Fuck. I don't know anything.
What?
Kim's ex-husband? No, not Kim.
Chloe.
Chloe.
Yeah.
I thought it was a football player.
There's a lot of misinformation right now about the Kardashians.
Look.
She married? Kim
There's some football player involved with them.
Hello, listeners. Are you still there? Hello, anyone? Where'd you go?
All right. So Funhaus.
They're
So
Video
enjoying
games.
this. They're enjoying this.
So what do you
Yeah.
guys do now, and like, what are you getting into? Because I know you did just launch the Funhaus cartoons, which looks fucking incredible.
Oh,
by
thank
the
you.
way.
That was a fan made thing, and this is honestly the best. People always ask like, how can I get a job? How can I get jobs? Like, just send us stuff, man. Like the guy made a fan video, and he's like, check this out, and we got in contact, and we were like, how much would it cost to make this? And
Yeah.
we got the okay budget from all the guys in Austin, and now we're making. I think we're only making like 6 episodes for now, seeing how they're gonna do, but. Yeah, we're like working closely with the guy. He's pretty quick.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that's
great.
all the same shit with us. You know,
Yep.
like people all the time like make stuff like and just put it out there, and we will contact them, and be like, dude, this is awesome. Like, do you want to work together and like kind of think about it that way? But like, what I like about this is have you seen this?
No,
The
I haven't
Funhaus
seen this one
cartoons?
yet.
I'll show it to you later.
I hate Funhouse and don't watch it.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's the
Totally
same.
understand.
The same.
If it isn't a
idea.
Bruce video, I'm out.
Big Bruce fan here.
They said
It's
British. I
The
was like,
same
what?
idea as the animated adventures, where it's just like bits and pieces of
Sure.
things they've done, but it's not like 2D animation. It's 3D animation.
Oh wow.
They made us into like 3D like Muppet puppets.
Muppet puppets.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
It's like awesome. It looks really cool.
Awesome.
It's really unique. It's a unique and like I think we were looking at it too from like a long term angle where like we could make like dolls out of this. This
Yep.
is cool. Like this is very marketable. Like, and that's sort of how you have to like think when you're producing new content.
Yeah.
You're like, is this a show that I could potentially sell or not sell?
Yep.
That's usually anytime we make a new show, we want to just make a good show.
Mhm.
But we always have to think that in our head. We're like, could a sponsor fit in here somewhere?
This is a business. How do we make this work?
Yeah, and how does it work for the audience as well? Where we're like, I don't want to have like a fleshlight come in unless it makes sense for the show.
yeah.
If
For
it's
the
like-
show.
Yeah, if we're doing like a serious review show, like maybe not. But if we're doing like a silly off the wall thing, we're like, yeah, get a fucking fleshlight in here, it'll be silly.
Why not?
Yeah, and like because the audience would be expecting that or something like that. So, Yeah, I don't know. Like that's sort of where we're at right now. Right now, I think we're just trying to wrap up the year.
Yeah.
Which technically ends in February for us because that's when we started. So.
Right.
Yeah. We're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When does it start? When does it end? Our goal is to hit 1 million subs.
How far off are you know?
Motherfuckers.
We just hit 800.
Okay.
Yeah, and like that's a lot of
Kind of funny army. Go subscribe to Funhaus. We'll get you there. Don't worry.
Well, you guys are in a very interesting place because you have the Patreon. So like,
Yeah.
regardless if your video does 1 view or 10 million views, you're getting paid the same.
I mean, that's the
good.
thing for us is we kind of made that conscious decision where we didn't go with a Rooster Teeth or something like that, where we're just like, okay, we're going to be much smaller, but we know we got the hardcore motherfuckers out there. They're going to like have our back and like make this work for us. And so it's been working. But then it is interesting because it's always funny to talk to people and be like, they're like, oh yeah, so how many subscribers do you have? We're like, oh well.
If you combine 350,000.
Like,
But the number that matters is on Patreon.
We can talk to you guys after. I mean, like I'm YouTube certified 2 years in a row now. If you need
Oh,
some
so
tips,
am I.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh God, that course.
Yeah. Oh, God,
Oh yeah,
God, no.
just like and it was so easy cruising through everything, and then it was like now let's talk about like copyright law. That's when it's like fuck,
Shit.
I'm tanking questions here, but what do I do?
YouTube's like the worst lover you've ever had, where it starts out great, like it's the most manipulative like relationship you've ever been in. Where like first question is like, how great is YouTube? And you're like, it's great, and they're like, which one of these videos is a bad title? Like this one, and then it's like, according to this copyright law and like the statute of limitations of 1954, blah, blah, blah. Well, and it's like, out of the 4 answers, which of the 3 are the most right? You're like,
I know. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And there's like one where like there's like maybe a syntax that's a little off. And
Yeah.
you're just like, I don't know. Or like, what is the most right good S?
Yeah.
Did he say yes or yes? I can't tell.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous.
That fucking course, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I think we're just in like a unique place where it's like we kind of just function in this thing where we're not YouTubers. You know what I mean? And I think that's
I
kind of
got a little offended the other day where someone was like, "You're just a YouTuber." I'm like, please, I'm not a tube lord. I'm not one of those guys. Like I work with an ensemble. I mean, that's I think another reason why we all get along, and I got along with Rooster Teeth is like I never saw certain types of people as like YouTubers. I am friends with guys who are YouTubers and they are like the standalone thing, but like I can't really do that. I can't be a one-man army. I need people to fall back on because I can't be funny all the time. I'm rarely funny ever.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm also rarely modest and humble. Very humble.
Let's see how many push-ups I can do.
You guys into squats? No, but like it's so. I mean, like you guys can probably attest to this, but like having people you can fall back on and like have someone else to yell at when something goes wrong and pretend it's their problem and not yours.
Hey, Kevin.
You're called a punching bag. No, it's just kind of cool. Like when something's fucked up, that like you don't have to do all the work yourself. That there's someone who will step up and go, "Oh, I can do this." You're like, thank God. Like, I'm not. Or sometimes you want to step up and help it out. Like I love having that. Like working with people. I've always liked working with people. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, but like
it's good.
Yeah. I don't know that's. Oh yeah, the YouTuber thing. So I've never considered myself a YouTuber. Like not the same way like the Creatures or like Game Grumps. I know people are like they're YouTubers. I'm like not really. They're more of a production group that are on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube is just a means to an end to get your stuff out there. So I don't know. It's a blurry term. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's blurred for us, like in the terms of like how we describe ourselves to other people, and then now how like PR functions with us and does this stuff, right? Because like we left IGN and I brought all those relationships with me. So like, hey, come to this review event. Here's this copy. Da da da. But then there'll be like the next things like, can we sponsor content through you? Do you guys do that? I'm like, yeah, we do that. Like, I mean, I'll never sponsor a review, but if you want, you know, like with the order video we did, sure. Like, you know what I mean? No big deal.
Right. Well, I think they refer to you as influencers now.
And that is the big one we get.
How crazy is that though? Like, because you've been in this industry, I mean, both of you guys have been in this industry for years, where you used to go to an event and it was all nice, sharp dressed dudes with chrome backpacks and their tablets, their notepads and taking these notes. Now it's all YouTube kids.
Yeah.
You go to any event and it's like, I remember going to a Destiny event. I'm like, I don't think there's a single news outlet here.
Yeah.
That's what's been so bizarre is the way it's all changed for us living in both worlds, where I'll get invited to an event. I'm like, oh, sure. And I'm like, can we do Let's Plays? Like, yeah, I do Let's Plays. I get there and I set up all my stuff and I look around. I'm like, you're all YouTube channels. And I ask like IGN friends, like, are you going to this event for this game? Like, no, we didn't hear about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Just checking. Just
I mean, it seems like they have separate events too.
Yeah.
Like there's the mainstream press events and then there's the YouTube people. And it's funny that like we get to go to both of them sometimes just because like people treat us on both sides.
Or none at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't fit in either camp. Get out.
Yeah. And then so
I've had those ones where I'm like, hey, why wasn't I invited? Like, we'll get you the next one.
Yeah. But we'll go, and it's just like a lot of the mainstream ones. I'm like, these are not as good as the YouTube ones.
Oh,
the
sure.
YouTube ones, they just because it's different function. They're just like, hey, have fun with the game.
Here's your bag of
Whereas
cocaine. Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas the other one's more like, hey, this is so traditional, and there's a way that this is going to happen. And just go and sit and play the game. And
We're gonna do your 30-minute presentation,
Yeah.
then put you in one round of this kind of the game.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, I hate that stuff so much.
All I know is there's a lot of young kids with an open bar. There's always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Be careful. I have decorum. I know how to hold myself
Yeah.
sometimes. I get all
After
sloppy.
6 beers, you slow down.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, want to have a good night? Thank you for having me. I've seen some madness.
No,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think they're going to be learning that more and more. But like, it's also getting to the point now where like people just send you like builds. Like,
Right?
Here you
Yeah.
go.
We're to the point now. It's like, here's your code.
That needs
You
to
know what I
happen
mean?
more.
Yeah.
You
No.
know, that is like the game changer of just like, I think that the game developers that are getting that and understanding that, they're the ones that are going to be like way ahead.
But
Well,
it's the same thing. Like recently, there was like this game that was coming out for the holiday season. Multiplayer is a big part of it, right? And so they were like, "We're doing this event," and it's I don't know. I was like, "I'm not gonna go." Like, all right. And then the next day, just send me my code. Like, why don't you just send everybody your code? Like right there, just have them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a marketing. I mean, I haven't ever worked on the side of game publishing or marketing and stuff, but I understand there is a budget.
Yeah.
That's why they have these lavish events where they're like, here's $1 million to market this $20 million game that's going to make $80 million. Spend it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And they're like, remember Capcom years ago? They're like,
Oh yeah.
we're going to Hawaii. Like, are you based at Hawaii? No.
No, one of our games has an island theme.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What?
I don't know. I didn't go.
Really? Okay.
It's sort of like I think how Adam Sandler makes movies, where it's like, where do I want to go on vacation
Exactly.
now?
Exactly.
I kind of feel like that's how they make Assassin's Creeds now.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yeah, the next one takes place in Bora Bora, right, guys? Like, absolutely not.
Apparently, no one wants to go to Japan there. They're just like, everyone's like, please just give us Japan. They're
Yeah.
like, I don't
Feudal
wanna go.
Japan, please. We're begging you.
The whole marketing team is like, please go to Japan.
Yeah.
Maybe even like I don't know, Kyoto for a little bit. Maybe they should do a mission out there. I don't know. Maybe like,
Just modern day Tokyo.
yeah, that's it. Oh,
All right.
I love Assassin's Creed.
Second topic of the day. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, I want you to review all the games that you've played this year, Adam.
One cumulative score, please.
Jeez. Do you have a list of everything that came out?
No, I mean we can kind of just go through it.
I'll be honest. I've lost track of everything that has come out. I try to play everything, like every big release. I try to beat every game to completion. I really do try. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long road to hoe.
I feel like the game releases didn't start until Metal Gear.
Oh wow.
Does that make sense?
Did you not play Bloodborne?
I didn't play Bloodborne.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can go down the list and
Well,
like
let's
name,
start in the
thinking-
beginning. So there's
I mean,
Dying
name
Light.
Dying Light, yeah.
I beat Dying Light
Okay, what do you think of Dying Light?
better than I thought it would be.
Mm.
Yeah. I thought because I thought Dead Island was kind of a piece of shit. I thought I liked parts of it, but I thought the marketing was
Better than the game.
obviously, and I don't like weapon degradation.
Yeah.
On an RPG level. I liked it in Far Cry 2, but I don't like I love the idea of like you're using a gun, it blows up on you. I'm like, oh, that's so random, that's so cool. But when you're whacking away and the blade is going down, I thought they did a much better job with it in Dying Light, and I thought it was fun to control. I was like, we haven't had a Mirror's Edge game in a long time.
And a game that out Mirror's Edge. You know what I mean?
It was open world parkour. I was
Exactly.
like,
It was awesome. It felt great. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
yeah. And like most games, you ended up getting you got overpowered to the point where the monsters weren't really that I only call them monsters because they were the mutated.
The giant dudes that like drug the
it got to a
thing.
point where you can just like sit on the ledge and kick.
Yeah.
Stupid. But I ended up enjoying the game way more than I thought I would, and I thought Roger Craig Smith did a good job,
Really good.
being the voice, being that main voice. Like I don't know, it was like a really good Dead Island. So yeah, I really liked it.
Still, I'm going through my list.
Yeah.
Bloodborne though, that I ended up having to stop. Just it's the same frustration I ended up having with Dark
Souls games.
Yeah, where it's just like the game just keeps punishing you, and I'm just like I gotta do something else at some point. I gotta go eat dinner, and I can't just.
I gotta eat dinner, man.
It's the repetition that kills me because I love the art style, I love the gameplay mechanics, just the overall. Like once you save, everyone respawns, and you're like like it is stressful and it's cool, but like it just sucks.
I like
that I have to. I don't have that much time.
We'll get to it eventually, but you and I are talking about Fallout. Like, what I like about Fallout is living in that world, and like what I do matters. So if I do kill something that's this big guy, he's dead now in that world. You know what I see?
But it also has a quick save option.
Exactly.
So, 'cause I'm an adult. I'm sorry.
Did you play iDarb?
I played it at Let's Play
Fancy
Live.
stuff.
But that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's silly.
Evolve.
Ooh.
Man, Evolve was this year.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I thought it was last year.
No, remember they did betas forever, and it was at every
Oh.
event ever, and then it got
Oh, that's
delayed
what it
to
was,
February.
It was such a cool idea that doesn't work. It lives or dies based on the online like, staying
Based on
power.
who's playing it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's a game that would probably benefit for being like a free to play, where if you buy the game, you can play as the monster, and then everyone else free to play is just like the dudes. Never got into it.
No.
It was weird. It's such a weird concept.
My thing was at preview events when like we did a whole bunch of videos where like I went with Operation Supply Drop folks and then I did IGN folks or whatever, and like when you're in a group and it's all your friends and you're in the same room, so much fun.
Yeah.
And then you get the game home and it's like random teams or this guy can't play or whatever. It's just like, well, now I can't rely on you to be a good trapper or whatever.
Have you tried to do a Vault of Glass run on Destiny and
No.
like try to organize people? There's no matchmaking, so you have to like. I would get on Twitter and just yell, be like, I need a team. And people are like, I'm on PS4. I'm like, well, I'm on Xbox. And they're like, too bad. And I was like, I couldn't get 4 fucking people to reply to me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so hard to get a group together that like you kind of need that auto matchmaking. And then if you're not communicating with your team like you needed to with Evolve, the game live and died based on whether you were going to work together.
And that's why for me, I hope the lesson they take away is to make the next whatever they make more like Left 4 Dead. Because Left 4 Dead was just jump in and pick up a gun and play, and you don't need to have like specialized skills of what you're doing. You know?
Yeah,
what
I mean, the learning curve on Evolve was ridiculous, not only on an individual basis, but as a team and being able to work together.
Yeah. And then maybe they should have like steps or iterations where like it started out as a very simplified version of Left 4 Dead, and then it built up to what it was. But oh man, it was just, that was tough.
Biggest game of 2015, Criminal Girls Invite Only.
Yeah. Game of the year. What the hell is that?
That's that Vita game where it's a really, really simple
ridiculous
RPG.
Vita
but then
game.
what you do is you tap these things to, you see some girls in various
You're
states of
gonna hate
undress.
me. I gave my Vita away.
Just gave it away.
Well, so what happened?
He's just on the street and he just like dead drop passes it to somebody as he goes.
I
I'm like,
bought it because of the Gauntlet. I remember Freddie was playing Hot Shots on it. I was like, that thing looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is a cool device. And then it just started collecting dust because I stopped using it. And then we did a live show, and a fan of ours went on our subreddit. She talked about it. She said, great show. Sad though, someone broke in my car and stole my Vita. I'm like,
that's great.
I'm like, you can have mine. Like, I'll win some internet brownie points too. So here you go. Like, otherwise it's gonna sit there and it's gonna die.
No, that's nice of you. That's a good move.
I'm like, I don't need it. You can have it.
Right.
Fine. It helped me in Japan. It was great.
Yeah.
I had a 10-hour flight or whatever, and I was like, I beat Hotline Miami on it. It was fantastic for when I had it, but
right.
It sucks they didn't support that thing.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I could have definitely gone for more amazing games. The Order 1886.
I never played it.
Yeah,
everyone
good.
complained
Don't worry
about it.
Yeah, don't worry
They're
about
like,
it.
it's a movie.
Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't play games.
Wasn't
for
terrible, but whatever.
Sure.
Helldivers. Did you play Helldivers?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I know of it though.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Can we do major releases?
I'm getting.
please?
Well, no, I'm still in the early part of spring where there weren't that many major releases.
That's what I
Stick
mean.
with
Like,
me.
it doesn't start until Metal Gear.
There's a couple.
You're a PC nerd. What about City Skylines? You do that?
No, I like video games, not simulators.
Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters.
What the fuck are you saying? Say words.
The list is very dense.
English.
It's a Game Informer list. I'm scrolling the fast I can. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
I use Wikipedia.
Oh, really? I probably would have been a better one.
It's fine.
All right.
Support the old guy. Or wait, is it Game Informer or IGN?
This is Game Informer.
Oh, whatever. They don't need the support. They're owned by GameStop.
What about I Am Bread? Did you play I Am Bread?
Well, yeah. Wait, didn't that came out last year though?
It came out this year on consoles. But
I'm just seeing the list. Sorry, I'm just shouting stuff out while I look for the next real big game.
That's why I just say weird words like whatever Tokyo Ghost Hunter or whatever the hell you were.
I'm excited for
Witcher must have been around.
I'm just getting to May. All right.
Okay.
Fine, but Witcher 3.
Witcher, yeah. That is a
Did you lose a lot of hours to it?
yeah. It's a mile deep and a mile wide. Like that's a game where it's just you just get lost in that world. It was a little too much for me.
Did
honestly.
you beat it?
No.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. And I don't know. Like this entire year, what I've been saying is, and what worked for me with Dying Light, what worked with Witcher, and now what I love about Fallout, right, is that I was looking for a world to just get lost in and get into and just exist in for hours. And The Witcher was almost there, but I don't like high fantasy that much. You know what I mean? Like I was waiting for Fallout and guns and things like that.
I always try to think of the question like if I was in prison, I would probably love Witcher. Where they're like, here's the one game you can play.
Sure.
I'm like, this is all I'm going to play for the rest of my life. Great, but I feel like something came out like as soon as something else, I think like Taken King or some like DLC came out. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, and then I forget about it. But I still have my PC save. Like bought the game. It's sitting there.
I'm gonna get to it eventually.
I got the hair DLC, and I just wasn't happy. I made like sexy girl, and I was like, ugh. This isn't. And his armor always sucked. I had like weird chest arms. Like I just don't look cool.
I don't look
But
cool
your hair
at all.
looked cool, I'm sure.
This looks like when I tried to play World of Warcraft. I had a blood elf, and he had like short shorts and like a tight shirt. I'm like, I hate this game. Everyone's running around with like spiky armor and badass, and I'm just like, hey, let's go fight some demons. And it's just like I'm useless.
What interrupted The Witcher for me was Batman Arkham Knight. Did you
Yep,
play
yep,
Batman?
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I played on PC, which apparently was completely
Oh,
broken. But
no.
Wow.
But my
Oh, it worked for you?
it worked. I
Oh,
was
great.
the one guy who got it worked for. I had a couple like hard crashes, which I just come to expect with PC games. But
Yeah.
like, I was very lucky with my setup. We played it all the time on our podcast, and I was like, it runs fine. I ended up doing the 60 frames per second on lock at one point where I'm like, oh, it does look better. But I didn't mind that it was 30 frames a second. Like I didn't have a lot of problems that the internet had at a lot of points, and I enjoyed the hell out of that game.
Good. Yeah. Batman was awesome.
I had a great time. Yeah, get to
Good.
drive a freaking Batmobile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the tank. Well, how'd you come down to the tank?
The
When
tank.
they actually have to like do the thing where
Oh.
you're like strafing and shooting.
It was fine because I played with a Xbox One controller
Yeah.
on PC, so I play it like it's a console game.
Sure.
I was fine. I got used to it. I thought how they did some of the boss battles was cool.
Mm.
You and I probably connect on this, but I'm a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
I actually liked how they introduced Red Hood into the mythos. Like,
My only problem was the fact of like they lied to us, and I know they have to,
sure,
but it's just like, well, couldn't we have danced around it a bit more? Like
Yeah.
you're just telling me this one thing, which I would have loved if you would have just told me in the beginning it's going to be Red
I
Hood.
think you look at it this way. There's a lot of people who probably play the Batman Arkham games who don't know anything
Yeah.
about Batman.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've never heard of Red Hood. You've never heard of anything like that. So like when that was introduced, you're like, who the fuck's Jason Todd? I don't
Yeah,
know. Warning, spoiler.
You've had your chance.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's been out for a while. Sorry.
Really,
but-
Kevin? You had your chance, Kevin.
It doesn't really even matter. It's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of everything. It was just sort of like, here's one of the characters we've yet to introduce. Now he's in
And it was just
The Arkham
telegraphed from
world.
so early on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was from the first thing, you're like, oh, okay.
his
I know,
fucking
so.
head is red. Like, come on.
He has a red.
Did you?
hood.
This isn't a major release, but stick with me. Life is Strange. Did you touch Life is
I didn't
Strange?
play it. No,
Okay.
is that the one Ashley's in that run? Right?
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Ashley's in it?
Ashley Birch.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one did you think? Ashley.
Jenkins.
Jenkins. No.
Oh,
like,
I thought you meant Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
We know
Oh.
too many Ashleys
So
to
many
throw this
Ashleys.
name around like this.
I only found that out because I saw the Game Awards list.
Yeah.
And during Halloween, myself, James, and his wife all went to the Birch Halloween party.
Yeah.
And I got really drunk and I challenged Ashley to a game of Smash Brothers Melee, and she ruined me.
Nice.
She was way too damn. I was like, "What is this dash move you're doing? What is this?" And I was
We're
like,
dashing around.
yeah, she was dashing around.
Game Awards, though, huh?
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Those are interesting.
Interesting nominees on that
yeah.
list of the Game
Huh.
Awards.
It's weird.
Maybe you go
Influencer
there.
gamer or whatever the hell that
Yeah,
made up category
trending
is.
gamer. It doesn't matter if it's made up or not. Go vote for Greg Miller on
Yeah,
it.
trendy gamer.
Yeah, trending.
You're gonna lose a total biscuit. You know it.
The whole joke was, yeah, like if at any moment one of those guys can snap their fingers and
won-
just crush me. He won last
He
year.
won last year. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna win again.
Yeah, I know.
And, like,
I'm well aware of how this is gonna go.
Go vote for Greg Miller.
I'll vote for Greg.
You've
Depending
mentioned
on how this podcast.
you've mentioned a few times Destiny. So what was your Destiny experience this year?
It's a mobile game with a controller. That's how I've seen it. It's very casual.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and it's just a heroin needle. You just keep putting yourself
Sure.
in. You're like, new hat, new gun, and then the minute you find any other game that like
Has hooks.
it gives you like, I immediately lose interest.
Gotcha.
But I did get back into it, and I was playing a little bit online, and I finally did a bunch of raids and stuff. I'm the guy where I have to wait for 2 or 3 content packs to come up to get all the cool stuff that everyone has now. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was at RTX when Last Word came out, and I was really pissed off. It's a really cool handgun. I don't know if you use it. It's like a cowboy gun. It's
No,
like-
I was the guy who, when Destiny originally came out, I'd been playing it, enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
And then I went somewhere for like a week or whatever, and so I
Yep.
came back and everybody was raiding, and I wasn't there yet.
there is a
Yeah.
threshold. You either only play Destiny or you play
Yeah.
everything
Anything
else.
else.
And so
Yeah.
then I when it came up with Taken King, and I got the thing to jump my level up and do more. I jumped in and started playing that, but again, I only played for a week, had a great time, but
Taken
then
King
something
was
else
good.
came out.
Taken King was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story aspects of it. I like that they put Nolan Bot in there now instead of Tinglebot or Tinglebot or whatever.
Tinglebot.
Tinglebot.
I'd buy a Tinglebot.
I thought they made some good changes, and I think there's some miscommunication as to what Destiny is. I'm almost positive. I might be wrong, but Destiny is your World of Warcraft. That's the game you buy, and then everything else is just the game's going to be like 300 gigs by the time you're done with it.
Oh, sure.
You only buy Destiny. There's not going to be Destiny 2. That's my understanding, because your character they said is going to last for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So
That was the thing, right? Because in the leaked Activision documents from forever ago, they had Destiny 2 in there, but I think it was supposed to come out like this year.
Well, I heard a recent thing that Destiny 2 is going to be announced at E3, but that's one of those bullshit rumors that you're
That'll
like,
just be a repackage. I mean, like
Probably.
I
mean,
could totally see. I could totally see what you're saying. Of like, Destiny 2 is going to be on shelves and you can buy it, but if you are a Destiny player,
it's not a game; it's a service.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly,
they want.
exactly.
And then it's an MMO without a subscription fee. So
they're killing it on that front, man. Like
They're-
that's the whole thing.
if they have 1 million people who are dedicated to that game and are paying into it every month and always playing it,
they're good.
that is going to make more money than Halo ever did. So
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just digital crack. And I'm like, you got to quit crack. It's not good for you. Makes you
Crack
do
is
weird
whack.
things. It's really whack.
Did you fall in love with Rocket League?
Yeah. Rocket League's cool because you can just kind of pick it up and put it down whenever you want.
Sure.
And there's a Funhaus flag in there too. So
Team Fat Flag too.
yeah. Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
We were at launch. No big deal.
oh, that's fine. It took us a while to get in there.
At least yours is your logo though, which is smarter. Ours is like Team Fat, whatever.
Rocket League is great. It's one of those perfect games because it is easy to get into, impossible to master.
Yep.
That's a good game.
It's fun too. You know, it's one of those. It's just a fun game.
Yeah. You can be like high level pro, or it's just be you and your friends getting drunk, fucking around, and then you can go on with your life. I don't know. It's cool. I'm not into sports games, and I feel like that's the sports game.
This
I can
was the
play.
one that bridges it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can get in there.
Yeah, pick it up
because
once
it's
in a while.
cars.
It's fun and it's so fast and it's cool and it controls well, which is weird because it's driving in the Unreal Engine, which
Yeah.
is always bad. So they nailed it. They did a good job.
Mad Max.
Okay, did you guys beat it?
No.
Okay.
Colin won't play Metal Gear because he picked Mad Max and everybody got mad at him on the internet, and now he refuses to play Metal Gear. So
That was the fork in the road everyone got, right?
Yeah.
They're like, Mad Max or Metal Gear? What? I already went to Metal Gear. Sorry, I didn't do the
Yeah.
other game. Like, I'm moving. Fucking play Metal Gear. Yes.
Yeah.
So I finally picked up Mad Max a little while ago. It lost me because in order to forget exactly, the controls were weird. Like, I didn't get the control scheme. It
Yeah.
was something strange where I was like, to fire your gun, you have to hold left trigger or left bumper, and then fire with B or something. I was just like, who invented this? This is like a madman created this weird thing. It was cool though. Like I only played like a couple hours.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear was right there.
So
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Yeah,
See, this is
so-
when we start getting real for the rest of the year.
It's time to get
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, dude, Metal Gear is so good. People like to shit on the story, and I'm gonna make a lot of people mad right now. Metal Gear story's always been shit. I'm sorry. Like I fell in love with the story for Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
But it's just a bad action movie. It's good. I remember getting like goosebumps when Snake looks into the camera and he's like, "No time for a cremation" or whatever. I'm like, what a stupid fucking line. But God, I love this game.
Yeah.
Like, after his brother blows up in a helicopter and there's, I don't know. It's always been silly, kind of like anime level.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
the Lula Layla Low and stuff. Like, yeah, and like Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. But I will be the first to admit where I'm like, story's dumb. It's really stupid. Like,
Yeah.
it's philanthropist.
It's awesome
and-
stupid. Like, but that's
Exactly.
my
I-
problem with
I love
5's
it.
story is that it never hit the highs of any of that stuff.
I
and
thought, and yeah, with all that said,
don't spoil anything because I'm still not done with it.
I'm not done with it either. I only beat like the first act or whatever. 4chan ended up spoiling the whole thing for me anyway.
Don't go on 4chan. That's your own fault.
I need funny images sometimes. They do some great art.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm joking around. I like 4chan.
But yeah, I think that they did drop the ball on a lot of stuff where they were like setting things up, and there was a really dumb twist in the game. But I'm like, the whole thing has been dumb. But regardless, my big takeaway from it was the engine is really optimized. The
Yep.
gameplay is great.
Gameplay's
Dave
fantastic.
plays
fun.
10 out of 10.
What I hope they do, since Konami's a bunch of freaking weirdos, I hope they just license the engine out or whatever, and they give it to some studio, kind of like they did with Twin Snakes, and they just remake all the Metal Gears with that engine. I'd be really happy with that because it's
I'd
such
love
a,
that.
such a scalable.
Kojima disgracing his legacy, Kovic.
You heard that story, right? What's
Which
happening?
one? Oh, yo, I've heard a lot of stories about what's happening.
His non-compete ends in December. That was the rumor,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure that's true. So don't be surprised if Microsoft announces a PT-like game
Yeah.
called something else.
TP.
It's called
TP?
TP. Silent Hall. I don't know.
Silent Hall. How have we never heard that before? That's fucking brilliant.
The story that leaked, the story that came out was essentially, I don't know if you guys saw this. It was like, it got buried under a bunch of other stories, but more or less, Konami wanted like a crazy deal from Microsoft. Where like, you can buy Silent Hills. You can buy it, but we basically want to own like a part of your company. And Microsoft's like, no, we'll just hire Kojima because you fired him, you idiots. And we'll just make our own game. They're like,
Damn it.
back to the pachinko machines, and I'm like, which is fine. So yeah, I think you're going to get a Silent Hills type game announced either at E3 or December. We're going to get something soon.
Game Awards.
Yeah, I was going to say Game
Oh
Awards.
my God. Yeah, no, you figured it out. Keely and Kojima love each
They're
other.
boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I walked in on them getting it on. You know what I mean? I didn't actually. No, Keely's funny. We were hanging out with him during E3. We did the live stream stuff with him, and he did like his one day where it was all live.
Yeah.
And he was basically in like the control room the whole time. And we were watching, I think, the Sony press conference. And I think it was right before Last Guardian came on. And he just had the smuggest look in his face. He's like, and I'm like, everything okay? He's like, just watch. And he's like, you'll like this.
I know
You'll-
everything.
He saw everything like a month
Yeah.
early, so
Yeah.
that poor guy's got to just keep it all in his head.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
Can't talk to anybody.
Final Fantasy VII's being remade.
But since Phantom Pain was like a Kojima Keeley thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to imagine.
Yeah.
Game
this
Awards,
next thing.
it's going to be, I imagine you'll see some sort of announcement. I don't know what they'll call it, but you'll probably just see Guillermo del Toro's face pop in with Kojima and they'll start kissing.
There'll be
and
band-aids everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
which, with that said, the way the Phantom Pain was revealed was one of the weirdest things.
Weirdest
So
motherfucking
fucking
things ever.
weird.
When Keeley interviewed the dude with the bandages on his face, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, Moby
Well,
Dick Studios.
It's not 2005 anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do this. The internet will figure it out in a minute.
Yeah,
what it
and they
is.
did immediately.
Yeah.
When they overlaid the Metal Gear Solid 5
yeah.
logo on top of the Phantom Pain, you're like, what the hell? How do you
You
guys?
can't get past them. You just can't do that stuff anymore. I don't know. Anyway.
That's the point.
So yeah, man, whatever. Metal Gear, one of the best games I've.
Then Mario Maker.
Fuck Mario. In the best way possible. And like fuck Rubber Ross in the worst way.
Yo,
in the
God.
worst way
My-
possible.
His fucking levels are insane.
Dude, I've lost many hours in that man. So I love you, Ross, but goddamn you.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're adding checkpoints. I actually haven't bought the game yet. My Wii's still packed up, but
I remember you for the Gauntlet. During the Gauntlet was right when Wind Waker HD came out.
Oh, yeah.
And you fucking brought your Wii U on the plane and plugged it in and played on the gamepad.
I broke my Pro controller because I stuffed it in my bag because we're in Austin for a week and I couldn't play Zelda the Wind Waker HD because so I had to play with a giant tab which sucked. I ended up doing the thing where I exchanged at Best Buy. They were cool about it. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I haven't picked up my Wii in a long time. I have my 3DS. I play Smash Brothers all the time.
Yeah.
When I travel and stuff. But yeah, I should probably pick up Mario Maker.
You
know,
should. It's great.
It's a weird thing. Do you guys play it on your channel at all?
Mario Maker. We don't do like a regular thing on the channel, but I play all the fucking time.
I wish I could incorporate it into like Funhaus videos because I wish Nintendo was better about like monetizing stuff. It's weird because Game Grumps do it. I don't know if they have like a weird deal with them or they just don't care.
I think it's a don't care thing.
Yeah.
Like we do it, and it's as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. We just want to do fun content.
I would
for
love to
people.
do like a weekly like Mario Maker challenge
Show
or
kind of
something.
thing?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just anything. Just play because it's fun. It's really fun.
What we've been doing is on live streams and stuff, we'll like reach out to the community and have them make levels, and then we play through their levels and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's fun. It's really awesome, and like I love that game so much.
It's
so
good.
goddamn
I
much.
mean, it's freaking Mario. It's one of the best games ever made, and they basically took that one Rage video that guy made years ago. You
Yeah.
ever see like the hardest level ever, and they're like, "Hey, we can make it into a game." Also, you can play as Link. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they basically took all the cool internet mod stuff people were doing, and they made it
It's
into
like,
a video
hey,
game.
you can just buy it from us.
It's honestly, it's one of the smartest things Nintendo's ever done.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I freaking love Mario Maker. How can you not? I don't know.
Did you play Lego Dimensions?
No, was it good?
Yes.
Okay.
Quite good. I can show you all my toys after this. Halo 5.
I want to go home. Yeah,
all my toys. And then my Legos.
Halo 5 is a sore spot for me.
Yeah?
Multiplayer is fantastic. Single player story wise, we were misled.
And you're a fucking Halo dude.
I'm a huge Halo fan. I basically have a job right now because of Halo. Like I've always been into the lore and everything else. And I don't know. Did you guys beat it? Play through the story? Or anything?
No,
I played it off of it, but
I'm
I'll just-
halfway through on
I'll-
co-op with Christine. I'm like, yeah.
I'll just say this: I played through it twice. I liked it a bit more the second time, but Stockholm syndrome kicks in after a while anyway. But like story wise, we were led to believe there was this sort of like Chief has gone AWOL. He's been gone for weeks. Oh my god! And then you play the game. Chief sort of just kind of bones out after getting like a vision from Cortana, and they're like, everyone's like, yeah, cool, awesome, let's go, awesome, good stuff. Like, what? No, no one's questioning this. And then it's more of him being, I'm leaving, and they're like, Locke, go after him. And then some other stuff happens and nothing really matters. And I was like, that sucks.
I
Like,
wanted to hunt the truth.
there was no truth to hunt. That's the unfortunate part. I was hoping Chief was going to start like degrading and start going insane. And like, no, he's just a Boy Scout. Locke's a Boy Scout. Everyone's a Boy Scout. You're with Blue Team, who I've been reading about for like the past 10 years. I'm like, oh my God, Fred's there, Linda there, Kelly is there. They're just surrogates so you can play co-op.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating where like one of the characters, Fred, would be laying there, which by the way, he's married to Laura Bailey, I think, the voice actor.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because they're on two different teams. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's neat. That's a neat
Travis
little thing.
Willingham.
Yeah, that's like probably the most interesting thing about Halo 5 story, is the voice actors. But like there would be one part where Fred is dead, and my co-op partner, he's laying on the floor, like, oh, and then his voice comes in, and he's like, Chief, we got to get to the the station, and it's just like this dead body. like you guys didn't think about this? Like then the AI is like just bad. They were supposed to revive. I don't know. It was my least memorable single player experience, and that sucks because I'm a huge Halo fan.
Yeah.
But like control wise, it is tight. It is a good game. It's 60 frames a second. The online is amazing. Just I was really disappointed by the story. It sucks. It sucks that I was disappointed because I love Halo.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. They said they're setting it up for the next one. Yeah.
That's always good. That's what you want to hear.
That's great. And
See you in 2 years.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
We were talking a little bit about that back in Greg's living room. Yeah. I started. I really like it. Are you guys Assassin's Creed fans?
I like Assassin's Creed. I skipped Unity, so I'm ready to get into this one eventually, but I don't know when I'm
I think
gonna
it's
get
like
to
someone who watches Vampire Diaries. You know, it's garbage, but it's like it's delicious garbage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Assassin's Creed garbage. Like the games to me are always like they're at some level of polish, and I can't think of any other franchise where you can time travel and walk around in time periods. No other game's gonna let you play in like certain locations during certain like historical events, like the Industrial Revolution. What first-person shooter is going to take place in the Industrial Revolution and be interesting? So I think Assassin's Creed is like the only franchise that does that and does it well. I like that. I thought it was kind of funny that you can play as a female and no one made a peep. Whereas last year during Unity,
that was a huge deal. Yeah,
people were raging at the internet like, I can't play as a woman. And like, hey, you can play as a woman. I was like, what? Nah, I've moved on.
Yeah.
I'm mad at something else now. Stupid.
internet.
I like how the characters play differently. I like the location. I was playing on PlayStation 4. I'll pick it up again probably when it comes to PC. But it actually played quite well. Like it wasn't as glitchy as I thought it'd be. So
A ringing endorsement.
I always forget those games. I play every single one. I haven't played Rogue yet actually, so I take that back, or any of the mobile games. But I've played every single one. And I love those games, and I love. What I really want is for them to re-release them on PlayStation with the PSVR thing, and just go into walk mode
and stuff,
and just be able to walk through, like, just be in first person.
Those worlds,
just walk through those and just be like, I don't know, like weird teaching simulators for kids.
Yeah.
Where you can time travel.
This is what it used to look like when the assassins fought the Templars.
Well, you could. Okay, I'll say this right now, Ubisoft, and I know you're probably working on this at some point, but like, make an Animus video game for PlayStation. How fucking cool would that be? Or like Oculus or anything, where it's like, just go back in time. You don't have to stab people. Just walk around.
Just do stuff.
The worlds are built. Just you can walk around Venice. I mean, like I usually would base my vacation on which Assassin's Creed game I was playing. I went to Italy because like not only, but I was like, well, I kind of know it because I played a lot of Assassin's Creed 2 and then Brotherhood, and I was like, I kind of know my way around, and I did. It was weird.
Yeah,
that's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, like going to Venice, I was like, oh, I know to go.
I've climbed up this rooftop.
I went to certain monuments where I was like, oh, I remember climbing this in the video game. And I'm like, that's so dumb, stupid.
Yeah, well, that's cool though. No. So then we reached another fork in the road, similar to Mad Max and Metal Gear, with Rise of the Tomb Raider and Fallout.
Right.
You played Tomb Raider at all?
No.
Yeah, okay, so how's Fallout?
So good. You're playing Tomb Raider?
Well, I'm still. I haven't downloaded. It's finally finished downloading. I have really bad internet at my house right now, so it's been a disaster. But how's Fallout?
So good. I started. We had an early copy on Xbox One, and I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. It's like getting a weird preview of something that you really want, because I'm gonna maybe make more people mad. I played on PC. Bethesda games are just better on PC. On console, they run pretty janky. We had it early on Xbox One, and I was just like, I just need to play this. I need to play it. I fell in love. I'm just like, it's Fallout. I like Bethesda games. I love Skyrim. I'm the idiot who said Skyrim with guns. So, yeah, sue me, maybe, or I don't know, pay me.
Do something with me.
I sold a shitload of Far Cry for you.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, I really love those games. They're therapeutic for me. So I'm replaying on PC right now. I'm like 15 hours in, and it's just. You just collect junk, you build houses, and you shoot guys.
You live, you exist, you make an impact on the world.
It's an offline MMO. That's what I like about it. Like you can play it at your pace. That's why I love Skyrim. I put like 400 hours in Skyrim. So I know we can end. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was just seeing where
Tim's
we're
just
at.
checking in.
Yeah.
He's like, how long is he going to talk about Fallout?
No, I want you to.
With that said, though, Tomb Raider the reboot was like one of the best like Uncharted games I've ever played. So.
I'm excited to get into this new one. Because I'm in the same boat. I went Fallout instead of Tomb Raider, but I'd done the Tomb Raider Let's Plays we had done and seen how beautiful it is and that it's everything I love. So I'm anxious to get to it.
I think I'm going to hit max capacity at Fallout at some point. I'm going to take a break, and I think Tomb Raider would be like my break from that. But is that it for big releases? Are we done, or
just call it Battlefront?
Battlefront. Did you play Call of Duty?
I was gonna say everyone forgets about Call of Duty.
Yeah,
the Madden of shooters.
Like.
Yeah. We played a little bit of the single player. We played with one of the guys, Josh Flanagan, who's he's a vet. And we're like, in honor of veterans, they were playing Call of Duty, which is
it's something.
It's not even a war.
Josh Flanagan, I want to say, one of the funniest human beings I think I've ever met in my entire life. He is the better Nick Scarpino. I'm saying it. He has a better beard, and he's funnier.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Did you see the Ghost Fucker sketch?
I did see the Ghost Fucker.
That's the fucking funniest thing in the world.
All right, that's a good point.
That's one of the saddest things. I love that skit. It was
It's
really
so good.
But we had him on. We were playing it, and I think the single player for Call of Duty is finally getting so dumb that we can play it. Like we always play like really old school first person shooters because they're just so bad. The AI is so janky and so weird. Call of Duty at this point, like you have all these AI players that were like they'll just play the game for you. It's great. Like if you're not shooting
just hang
people,
back.
you just
Yeah.
hang back, and Chris Maloney jumps in. He's like, "I got this," and he just murders everyone. You're like, that guy's having fun.
Yeah.
He's having a great time because Josh was having a hard time trying to like. He was like learning all the mechanics. I'm like, I don't know what does what, and then, like by the time he learned how to like aim down sights,
It was the
four
next day
AI
already.
went in and just murdered everything, like blew up a tank,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey,
Hey, I want to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Do you guys see that video that was, I think it was on Kotaku, of someone going through Call of Duty and they literally didn't shoot anything?
Oh,
They-
no.
they-
it was I think Black
just-
Ops 1." I remember.
They just no, I mean it was recently. It was this one, and they just walked
Still.
forward, stood there for a second, waited for things to happen, and it was like, all right, keep going, and they just kept
Yeah.
walking.
I mean, I think Call of Duty's good. I think it's good that something like that exists because you always kind of need a mega giant that's making lots of money, and that's good. It's good for the industry. That's fantastic. It's just a game now where I'm like, I don't think I even played Advanced Warfare. It sucks because Boy Toy Troy Baker was in there, and he was like
Kevin Spacey
and
too.
I was like, this is like the Hollywood version that I always want to play. And the mechanics seem really cool, but it's sort of, I don't know. It's this weird thing. I know how people say video games make you violent. I think they make you bored. Like when you're just killing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's sort of the difference between, you can't really compare the games, but Fallout versus Call of Duty. In Call of Duty, you go into a room, you kill 50 dudes. There's like a guy in like a robot costume that costs like $1.5 million probably, in this world. And you melee him and he dies. In Fallout, like there's a raider with like a piece of leather on him, and every firefight actually means something. Like you could either get your head blown off or you blow their head off and you lose a lot of health, or you get like radiation
You
poisoning.
find a
Like,
bunch of good loot. Maybe
Yeah,
you gotta
and,
go through and compare and contrast what they have versus what you have.
it's sort of like less and more. Like
Yeah.
less is more. And like with Call of Duty, like you just get desensitized where you're just killing the same thing over and over. It just doesn't mean anything. And like you get shot, you go hide in a corner. You get shot in Fallout, you're like, fuck, I need health. I need a stim pack. Do I use a stim pack? Oh God, I found another stim pack. Thank God. Or like, do I eat this food because it's gonna give me radiation poisoning? Like I said, you can't really compare the two games. It's not fair, but I am appreciating the RPG Fallout shooting mechanics over Call of Duty just because it's I don't know. Nothing ever feels like it progresses in Call of Duty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
You're just kind of doing the same thing, and like you
That's
make
why people love multiplayer, right? Because it is progressing. You're unlock something. You're doing
Yeah.
something. You're earning something.
it bums me out because I used to love the Call of Duty single player back when like Jason Statham was doing voices for it, like the original Call of Duty. I
Yeah.
remember being like World War II, cool. These are like big loud things, and now it's sort of like it's just a joke at this point. It's so big and loud, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like you're watching a movie. I think it's for single dads.
All right. Next topic of the day. Your top 5 favorite games of all time.
You guys are gonna have to help me with this list.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops.
Well, there's got to be a Halo on this list, right?
Okay, I can say I can probably name 4 off the top of my head, but it's funny because this list will always change. This
Oh, yeah.
That's the fun of the discussion.
I talk about video games like I do food. People always ask like, "What's your favorite food? If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?" I'm like, God, nothing. That'd be hell. Because
Yeah.
you end up getting sick of it.
No matter what, you're eventually
there's
gonna
a place in Austin called Torchy's Tacos.
Yes, we know it well.
Really good,
God,
right?
yes.
And you don't have it in San Francisco, so every
Yeah.
time you go there, it's a treat.
Yeah.
I think we had it like 4 days in a row. I'm like, I fucking hate Torchy's. Like, you can't do that to yourself. You can't binge on stuff and think you're gonna appreciate it at some point. So like for me, it's right now it's almost like nostalgic. And like when I think of like off the top of my head, it's basically Halo 1, Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2. Kind of the
Which
same.
one?
Ugh. Kingdom Hearts 2 had 2 swords.
Yeah.
I think I like 2 more.
Me too.
Okay.
My thing is with 2, it's like 1, yeah, it was the original
Had
and this and
Tron.
that. But 2 played better. The controls were better.
Yeah.
It was more epic.
Had
The
Mulan.
fight against the 1,000
Oh.
freaking Heartless, I was like, you won me over.
Yeah.
And the fucking, just Cloud and Squall together. Like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh,
It was
good.
basically it was like teenage masturbation for me.
Yeah.
That's the sort of stuff I masturbated to. But yeah. Halo 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy 7, Metal Gear Solid 3, Subsistence, or Substance, I think. Was it Substance?
Subsistence was 3.
Substance was 2, Subsistence was 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with the 5th.
Well, I mean, let's go through that then. So Halo, why Halo 1?
It was the game that made first person shooters work on a console for me.
For most, I think, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what really redefined it.
Well, it was I think the dual stick shooter. You
Yeah,
know, like
and-
GoldenEye.
Sure, good point.
I never really got into GoldenEye. I didn't own an N64, and like Halo for me, my first experience with it was multiplayer. Like I had like a birthday party, and my friend brought his Xbox over. I'm like, this just makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense to me. Everything clicked. Like I even played with the shitty Duke controller.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember getting an S and being like, oh my god, life is great. Yeah, it was the first person shooter. Even to this day, it still just makes sense to me. It just works, especially with an elite controller. Jeez, it's bad. I'm about to buy a $150 controller just so I can play the game better.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's worth it. That's a great
It's
controller.
so good.
It's an investment.
The achievement hunters got it, and I used it for a little bit. I'm like, I can't go back.
Yeah.
You can actually aim. It feels so good. And then I remember just being blown away by the single player. Like that first opening mission was like, it was just, I was at a friend's house because I didn't have an Xbox. They were downstairs, I think, playing like World of Warcraft. I was upstairs. I just remember being like, this game is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm in a spaceship and exploded. I was like, I didn't know anything about the Covenant. Like, it just got me invested in this world so much. So Halo 1, almost for like nostalgic reasons. I mean,
Halo
always
1,
love that game.
yeah, Halo 1 is so special to me for the same reasons, both campaign and multiplayer. Like, I think my first dual stick shooter was Time Splitters on PS2, and I loved that for the quirky story and for whatever. But it felt like GoldenEye, just like where
Same guys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it felt that way, and it was just like the aiming's kind of. Like,
It wasn't perfect.
It was it felt cartoony.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a weird thing that they carried over to Time Splitters that GoldenEye did, where because it wasn't a twin stick shooter, GoldenEye being what it was, you'd have to stop, hold aim, and then
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that was a limitation. And then Time Splitters was a twin stick shooter, and they still had that
They still
mechanic.
did it,
It's
yeah.
like, please stop.
Yeah, it was weird. And I love Time Splitters, but then I played Halo, and I was like, oh my God, like this feels so much better. And I remember controlling the Warthog for the first time, being like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Then all of a sudden it clicked. I'm like, this makes more sense than any fucking vehicle ever did.
Just the weight and everything.
Yeah.
Like it was a game that just worked. I don't know. It's hard to explain like when you feel it for the first time. Like I said, most of the picks that I have are almost just deep rooted in nostalgia.
Yeah. But I mean, you were talking about the campaign. Like, I'll never forget the silent cartographer level, which is like the third level in the game. And there's the beach, and it felt like such an epic invasion, even though really, like, you look at it now,
it's like 10 dudes. But yeah, I mean,
it felt big.
I went back
the sniping mission.
I just replayed it with Lawrence. We did a co-op mission for it with Master Chief Collection. When it works, it's great. But the co-op kept kicking us out, and it sucked. But when we did that level, when we landed, I was just like, hard on. This is so good. Like it, even because they did the remaster thing with it, so it still feels good. Like I get that nostalgic ping of like, I can't believe the game's 10, 12 years old now.
Yeah.
We're old.
We are. We're very old. No.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of need help with a fifth. What's a good like classic game that everyone renounces as like
Mario.
Is any Mario on that list?
Mario?
Because that kind of rounds out your list.
That's lazy. I don't. Oh, you know what? It's gonna be a Zelda.
Oh, well, it's gotta be Ocarina of Time then, the best one.
Maybe. I think Majora's Mask was better.
That's acceptable. I'll
Yeah, I mean,
accept
at
that.
this table, that is an acceptable. I don't think so, but
Yeah. I put a lot of hours in Majora. Yeah. You know what it was? I base a lot of these on like personal memories.
of course.
Yeah, of course.
And Majora's Mask was that game where I had the strategy guide, and I was doing the last fierce deity mask to get, I have to get all the masks. And you have to, have you done this where you have to like, you go through the entire day? There is a story that plays through all 3 days, and you have to be at the right place at the right time to do all these things. And like, I remember being up to like 5 a.m, eyes bloodshot, and like I finally did it. And I think my mom came home from work, and she's like, "What are you doing up?" I'm like, "Huh? Who are you?" Like the light was, the sun was coming up, and yeah, that was like that game just brings so many memories.
No, I mean, when I think back to both those games, that's the same thing. Ocarina of Time was such a special one for me, right?
Yeah.
Because it was my first Zelda. My friend had to convince me to play it, right?
Oh, really?
And I
First
came home and I put it in, and like, just gone. You know what I mean? Just gone playing that game.
Link to the Past was my
Yeah,
first one.
I'm a Link to the Past guy.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
never played the first one on NES. It just looked way too hard for me.
I mean, it was.
Yeah,
for a little kid at least.
It was.
just for
Yeah,
me.
I was. I mean, I must have been 5 or 6 or whatever when it came out. The game released in what, 85, 86?
Yeah.
I was born in 85, so I was a youngin. But yeah, that was Link to the Past, and then Ocarina of Time. Have you played Link to the Past yet?
Yeah, well, I've played it since then. Yes.
They're almost remakes of each other.
Exactly.
Kind of.
And that's the thing is like that, and I wonder how much that is because every Zelda since Majora's Mask, right? I'm always like, can we stop telling the same fucking story over and over
I mean,
again?
it is, there's dungeons there. Then eventually you need to collect 3 things. Then there's an alternate version of the same place you're in where you need to get 5 or 7 more things.
Yeah, yeah.
But think of
Okay.
it from this perspective. Just because it's your 18th Zelda you played, it's someone else's first.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And like I'm totally with that. But
Yeah.
it does suck. Like my biggest critique of Nintendo as a huge Nintendo fan, fucking huge Nintendo fan.
The NX's biggest fanboy.
Yeah, I am the NX's biggest fanboy. But it hit a point where Zelda and Mario and Metroid and all that, every game previously had a different art style and a different feel and did something unique. And then it hit a point where it's like just sequel. And it's like, how come we haven't, like, you look at Mario 1, you look at Mario 2, you look at Mario 3, you look at Mario World, you look at Mario World 2.
Yeah.
Those are all, you look at Mario 64. different games, totally different art styles, different look, different feel.
Sure.
And then New Super Mario Bros. And now every game since then's looked like that.
Well, I think the technology was progressing at a different rate. I can't really say faster rate, but going from 8-bit to 16-bit was just like, and then going from 16-bit to, did they just jump to 64?
64. Yeah.
They never did 32. Yeah. So
PlayStation was 32.
Oh no, but Nintendo never did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I mean, even just talking about art style, you know, like you look at, they just kind of, once they hit Mario 64, gave Mario a voice. That's what Mario is.
I think after Sunshine, he's kind of looked the same and done the same. I don't know. I mean, it seems to work for them. And
Yeah. I mean, for sure it does.
I don't
the
know
games are still good.
Yeah, I don't know
But
what else.
they're never going to be the perfect life-changing experience.
Yeah.
Then Galaxy happened, so I guess I'm just spitting bullshit.
Wrong,
but-
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, look at Sonic in the sad state he's in. Like, what if we made Sonic edgy and gave Shadow a gun?
Let's make him a werewolf and give him a scarf
Yeah.
and long legs.
What do you mean we're losing money? Why is no one buying this shit? I'm almost positive Nintendo's looking at that and being like, let's keep Mario wholesome. Let's
Yeah.
just keep him what he is. And
Yeah.
if it's not broke, don't fix it. Sonic's very broken. Sonic's a fucking joke at this point.
Sonic never made the jump to 3D. People say
He's
he did
a
with
meme
Adventure,
now.
but he didn't.
It's sad. He's
Yeah.
funnier on 4chan than anything else.
Yeah.
It's just the weirdest thing.
Oh,
But with the NX, I actually am. My prediction.
Mhm.
It's going to be announced at. They're going to call it something else, obviously, but it's going to be announced at E3.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's going to come out holiday.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna not be an exclusive.
No, it's not.
but
exclusive,
there's gonna
but-
get. It might come out on there first. I think
No,
Cloud.
it's first on PlayStation.
I don't know.
Well, they announced that.
They said
already.
it was first there.
Yeah, they said first on PlayStation.
The Cloud announcement.
Yeah.
For Smash
Yeah.
Brothers, I was like, something's going on.
Yeah,
There's
you're right there with
hella
us.
something.
Yeah.
We
Maybe it
agree.
I want to say it's gonna be a launch game. It's not gonna be a launch game.
It won't be
because
a
that game
launch
is
game. Impossible.
so far off.
Yeah.
Now that it's becoming more and more real, I'm getting a bit more excited for Final Fantasy VII remake
Mhm.
because that is one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, okay, yeah. So going on that
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't think top 5, but
It's the
it
first
is.
Final
It's
Fantasy I
definitely.
played. So
I played 10 first, which is probably not the
Weird.
best one to go into. But I was just young, so that's
that's
just
fine.
how
That's-
that worked.
most people don't go backwards. That's
But
strange.
I went back and I played a whole bunch of them after, and like
Okay.
a lot of them are better. I love 10, but I think it's a nostalgia thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the battle system. I think it's amazing. But 7's great. And going back to it, it still did hold up, not graphically or anything, but in all the other ways. So people are either really excited for the reboot or like hating it because they want an exact reboot. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know what I want now. It's been so long, and I think Kingdom Hearts kind of became my new Final Fantasy, where I was like, oh, the combat's good. Then it went away for 25 years or whatever. Just don't get into bed with Disney. It's a bad idea. from like the stories I was hearing, man, like Disney like doesn't want that game to come out. They're just like, because the deal was apparently made before the new
Sure, they're new like Disney Interactive video games on
when
the
they came in, like, because that deal went in years ago, and like it's gonna come out, but fuck me, man, it's like it's a sad long story how what's happening. But regardless, I'm saying like combat wise, I was like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts figured it out. It's fun. They made an RPG cool. Final Fantasy VII is like, it's so dated. I don't know if you can change it. I don't know if you can update it to today's standards. And I love Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy VII. Advent Children still makes me feel weird.
No, I mean that's
Like-
the thing is it's like that movie was fan service that we all wanted at the time, and then we got it, and then you think about it and you're like, ooh, this wasn't Final Fantasy VII.
I would love the art style, how it was like pseudo cyberpunk, future fantasy, kind of this weird, like, I guess once you get out of Midgar, it was mostly fantasy again. But like, I love the world that they built, and I love that they were like there's this weird clash. It was so unique. Then Advent Children came out and was like, oh, it looks like every other anime.
It looks like every
yeah.
other anime. It's
Yeah.
super dark, and all of a sudden Cloud's like, they just ruined Cloud's character. He went from being this guy that like had issues but was still kind of fun and like did the whole cross-dressing thing and
Yeah.
all of that, and then you get Advent Children and he's just a hot topic.
This is the problem. Like, this is the problem with the remake, is that no matter what happens with this remake, people aren't going to be happy.
Well, of
and they're
course,
going to be
well-
really mad.
Yeah, and I mean that's my thing is like we're getting the port on PlayStation 4,
Yeah, and the PC one,
port
yeah.
or whatever. And it's like, to me that is the thing that needs to be the same. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think that they should update it. They should do things. The battle system is going to be different. If that battle system was in a modern game, it wouldn't make sense.
No, because we've
know?
progressed since then. I mean, they might try to make it like the new, what is it called now? Final Fantasy 15? It's not
Yeah.
Versus.
No,
Yeah, no, it's 15,
just
it's 15.
Fuck that naming.
Final
convention.
Fantasy 15, dudes in a
Oh.
car.
Dudes in a car.
That demo didn't play too well for me.
Yeah.
It was okay, but
It was okay. I'm
Yeah,
hopeful.
I hope Final Fantasy 7 doesn't play like that. I don't know. I mean, like, at the end of the day, too, I haven't seen anything yet other than a cinematic thing. So
Yeah.
now it's feeling like a bit closer. Like we might see some gameplay at E3 that now I'm like,
Nah.
Sure.
Hell no, dude.
Oh, really?
Are
Is
you
that
kidding
far
me?
off?
Well, the story,
E3
the guy who was directing it didn't know he was directing it until like E3. I was
Yeah,
like,
E3.
no.
We're doing it?
I doubt we're gonna get anything at E3 for this.
Okay.
I think that we might get at some random at like TGS or like some random Square thing that Square just fucking decides to do out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think we might get another random ass CG teaser.
That's good.
We're not getting gameplay until we get at least 7 more fucking random ass trailers and shit. I mean, look at Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts.
I thought these days were over because welcome to the world of Fallout where it was announced and released in the same year.
Everyone, please do that.
I like that. Like gone, I thought were the days of BioShock Infinite where like, here's a game, see you in 5 years.
Yep.
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, I want
For games like as big as Final Fantasy VII Remake, they did not need to come out and tout it before they had stuff.
I think
ready to
that's a cultural difference too.
Sure,
Like with
sure,
Japan, like
sure.
they're like, you must be hyped for the
Entirely.
next 10 years.
I mean, Zelda's another thing like that too. You know, like
Dude, that Nintendo Direct thing pissed me off.
I loved it.
I think I saw it pop up on our games or whatever, and they're like, our gaming, and they're like, oh, look at new Zelda gameplay, and I went to it as an IGN player, and it's like 13 seconds, like fuck you,
Yeah.
like no, you don't do that.
Him on a horse.
Yeah.
2016.
Well, I mean, they did it for I think a very clear reason, and that was just to say this game is still coming this year, and it is on the
Wii U.
Link is a man, it's not a girl.
Linko.
Oh, Linkle.
With that said, I would love to see an old man Link game one day.
Old man Link.
I'd love to see that, like a grizzled old man,
Yeah.
or just maybe plays a new character at some point.
Ocarina of Time sequel, or instead of going younger, he
Goes older.
That would be great, right? Where he plays an old man. Not like Metal Gear Solid 4 style where it didn't really matter.
Yeah, nothing's different about him.
Ooh, sometimes he'll rub his back.
Yeah.
Is your mind blown yet? why was he made old and why did he look like a child molester? I'm confused by this. Oh, there's a 45-minute video. Oh, my PlayStation or my TV shut off because
Yeah,
I haven't
nothing's,
tested the
there's
controller.
no interaction.
That's very sad.
So the final topic of the day.
Yeah.
This one, as always, brought to you by the Kinda Funny forums. Go to kindafunny.com/forums if you want your topics read on this beautiful, beautiful show. Just like Rudrumma did. Rudrumma says, how do you all see traditional gaming space evolving over the next 5 years in terms of journalism?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, we kind of touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
In the other video you can check out, I assume that we're
Monday.
good.
Well, no, it gets put up as one big one too.
Oh, gotcha,
So it's
gotcha.
not totally disconnected.
Rewind, get that watch time up. Yeah. It's ever changing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen how many different iterations of this industry now in the past 10 years? Remember when there were magazines?
I mean, yeah, it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys see?
I mean, I always talk about it, right? That I think what we're all doing is kind of right now the imminent future, where I think you'll always have your pillars of IGN and GameSpot, and the big sites will be there. I think the mid-level sites that try to do what IGN and GameSpot do will fall away, and then you'll have this spectrum that is giant sites and then the personalities. All right, I went to IGN and I heard about all this cool stuff that's happening with Smash, but I know that when I think Smash, I think Tim or whatever. I want to go see on Kinda Funny what he's doing, or Halo. I want to go see what Funhaus is talking about and stuff like that.
Oh, I think also there's kind of a misnomer with the word journalism.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
What the hell is gaming journalism? Because most of what you see is reading of press releases,
Yeah.
or just getting information that's just disseminated from on high. And when you go outside of that world and you try to break a story, you get blacklisted. You don't get to go to these events anymore,
Right.
and people
Right,
don't
right.
like that. And we've done that a couple times, and we've pissed some people off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And- but it's also, it doesn't matter. It's games. They're video games.
Mhm.
You don't. I don't know. Like, there was journalism when you had to figure out that go back to like Nixon. There was journalism that took place. There was a lot of investigative
Right.
journalism that like had an effect on the world. I mean, whether Silent Hills is getting made or not, I don't know if you're going to lose any, sleep over that. Someone might have a job.
And that's the problem is when everybody tries to put all of what happens in video game journalism or enthusiast press under the banner of journalism, right? So much of it is opinion, critique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like-
Entertainment.
exactly. And so
I
there-
like the term enthusiast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's people who are doing, I think, we always talk about Jason Schreier from Kotaku, Patrick Klepek. Like, they're out there doing things, getting sources, having things that are attributed to people and, you know what I mean?
Alexa at GameSpot.
Of course, yeah.
But that's not the majority.
Oh, no,
No,
and that's
no,
the thing,
no,
and that's
no,
what I'm talking
no.
about with
Yeah.
the umbrella.
Yeah.
There's people who
but
are
also
doing it,
the thing
things
there
they're doing.
too is like not only is it not the majority, I think everyone, like you're saying, think it's the majority and think IGN, GameSpot. Oh, that everyone there is a journalist. If
Right.
they say it, they're journalists. And it's like I was at IGN. I am not a journalist.
I had a
made
degree-
list videos.
I had a
stuff.
degree. I have a degree in journalism, and when I was at IGN, I wasn't a journalist. I was a critic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I became a personality, and there's different things that are going on there.
Yeah. So yeah,
It'll keep
There's your
evolving like
answer.
that. I think you're going to see more and more small pocket things like us pop up where it's like, cool, you can have 1 million subs, you can have not as million subs, and like there's people there that have their audience though that they want to hear from.
Yeah. So question 2 comes from our good friend Raj Former.
I know Raj Former.
He's a good man. Over at Funhaus, what's the show you look forward to most every week to film?
Oh, geez. I like demo disc. That's fun. We do this one where we it's gonna run out soon, which is great because someone gave us a packet of old demo discs from like PC Gamer and all these things, and we go through it and we try to play old games on a Windows 8 machine. Now it's Windows 10.
95% of them don't work.
Nope, not at all. And so we end up playing.
That's such a funny idea.
So we end up playing porn flash games instead. People keep sending us more old games, which is fine. I just look forward to it just because it's always madness. I like everything we do. The only thing I personally do not look forward to is playing GTA because I don't get to play the whole time. So we have to pass it off. And I'm not very funny. And if I don't get to play the game, I'm kind of bored. So that's it.
I mean, just, kind of expanding on this, what do you guys do for the people that don't know out there? Like, what are all your shows and what could they watch?
Oh, God. Honestly, just hit up the website and check it out because there's a whole list of stuff. But if you want to get into it, I would recommend watching the Scrobbles video. I think that usually that will kind of give you an idea of who we are. It was after RTX. We were just tired. We had been working. We're insane. You know that feeling when you're just like, it's sort of like being drunk or high where you're just like, I can't feel things.
Right.
And I think we did a demo disc and we went to Last FM and we saw that certain, like I don't know how it happened, but we found a band that had Scrobbles. We're like, fuck are Scrobbles? And we just burst out laughing and you kind of get an idea of like who we are and our sense of humor of like what that is. You can find that. So I think someone already ripped it and did a video, but I showed it at a panel in London because Jack hadn't seen it yet. So I was like, I'm going to show this video during the panel just so Jack can watch it.
So he knows what we do.
Yeah. I would watch that and you get an idea of like who we are, but we do all sorts of things. The idea of Funhaus should give you an idea of we don't take anything too seriously.
Yeah. Unsexiest comedian says, "How does
Real quick, I beat him. Don't let him forget that I beat him at No Mercy.
You beat Unsexiest comedian? Oh, that's
I was
true.
exhausted. I just wanted to go home and go to bed. And this guy's like, "We need to play," and I did. And I just fucking crushed this kid.
Would you beat him?
Yeah.
WWF No Mercy
Okay.
and 64.
Speaking of crushing motherfuckers,
The best part was I did the special. I was The Rock, of course.
Right.
I did my special people's elbow, but kind of forgot how to do it. So like I bounced off and then I just walked to his body, and then like I didn't drop the elbow because I guess you have to hit the button. But I had forgotten that. I just pinned him. Just pinned his ass. Just pinned him. You suck,
So ultimate
unsexiest
So
comedian.
anticlimactic.
how do you feel losing the gauntlet to a shirtless camping man-child?
Okay. If you haven't seen the episode yet, I highly recommend you do.
Oh,
the
it's one of my favorite
Tournament one.
internet videos.
What I love about that video more than anything else is that is exactly how it went down. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing disingenuous about it. There was no second takes. That was what happened. And like, it blows my mind because I'm like, that's exactly how I remember it. Like it went down like this in this exact order. The drama was perfect. Fucking Greg, man. Like I was just like,
Him and Freddie all like, "Oh, we got this in the bag. I'm Freddie Wong. I play Unreal Tournament all the time."
and then I killed Freddie. I was worried about Ryan Haywood. Everyone kept telling me they're like, Ryan's an FPS master. He's gonna kill you. And I'm sort of like, I'm being kind of humble. I'm like, I'm good at Twitch shooters. Like if I get into it, I used to play the Unreal demo nonstop. I'd rack up like 50 kills. I'm just like, I love twitching.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
right now I love Overwatch. Like I'm having such a good time playing that as like any attacker. It's just like it clicks with me. Shooters like that click with me. And Greg just sat there. He just sat in a fucking corner. And then I think I killed myself.
Yeah.
Because I had rockets, and I'm just like, but I'm happy the way it turned out because it made for better entertainment.
yeah. It was
no.
great. It was great.
So my favorite thing was just Greg going crazy at the end. But my second favorite thing about that video is when you kill Freddy, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And you were just like, "I'm sorry, you all look the same. That's not an Asian thing."
That's sort of my mouth talking before my brain
Yeah.
is done processing.
Oh, that was
things.
so funny.
That was a great show.
That was great.
I tell
know.
Bernie all the time to bring it back,
Yeah.
and then he just doesn't answer that text.
Yeah.
But I keep sending it.
Yeah, he'll respond to other things, just not that. I was saying one of the seasons of 10 Little Roosters, or I guess the next one's 11 Little Roosters, they're doing like a spy theme. I was saying like 12 Little Roosters or whatever, like should just be based on, they should do a fake gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it's based on, and like people are dying during the gauntlet season 3, but so it's a weird meta thing. It's sort of like the Curb Your Enthusiasm Seinfeld
Right.
reunion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Make it meta.
Most ADD says, "What's the coolest thing about working for Rooster Teeth now?"
Cool part. There's so many freaking talented people. You can lean on so many other people, like John Reisinger, who will design something in right away. We have socks right now. Hold on, I'll show you. these.
What?
Yeah, I didn't used to have socks where I work, but yeah, we have socks
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want kind of funny socks real bad.
The fact that there's merch that like we're getting like weekly is insane. Like it's honestly comes down to support and talent. Like you have a lot of that working with a company as talented as that, especially with us being in LA and then being in Austin, it's crazy. So that's part of the best part. But then just kind of be able to do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
It feels great. I'm sure you guys can attest. Like
Yeah.
it's a great feeling. And having people on the sales side, the merch side, and the content side just supporting everything you do. That's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So not bashing anywhere else I used to work, but it's
Yeah.
a life of
It's
difference.
better.
It's so good.
Russ Sadler says, who looks better in a dress, Bruce or James?
James. I'm not a fan of body hair. I love you, Bruce, but man, it's a lot of hair. I've seen his ass
Uh-oh.
too many times. He calls it his back pussy.
My God.
It's a dark hole. He spends a lot of time wiping. Sorry.
Head Monkey 84, which is one of the best names I've ever heard. What's the absolute worst job you've ever had?
I worked at Kmart for like 3 days in the food court.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
And I think they closed it shortly after I left.
You were the linchpin.
Kind of, yeah. I had to make a fish sandwich for a kid having no cooking experience. Pretty sure I served it half frozen, half raw. And I charged him $5 for it.
$5 for food
That's the
poisoning.
best I can do.
And like, I think on like the second day, they wanted me to clean out like the grease drain and stuff. And I was just like, this is a really shitty job. This is really bad. After that, I went into retail and started working at a clothing store, which wasn't as bad.
Was it like a Forever 21?
It was Anchor
BB?
Blue.
Anchor fucking Blue? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? Oh, it's amazing. I hope that at some point in my life you've sold me pants. The beyond baggy pants.
Yeah, they probably they get me. I got a weird skin rash working there.
Oh, because the fucking dyes of the
yeah.
jeans?
I remember my hands were just like shredded, and I was always
I know
wearing
all about
Band-Aids. Retail sucks. But I keep telling, hey, work some shit jobs. So if you ever get a really
you
good
can
job,
appreciate it.
you will appreciate it. You'll wake up and go, yay, I get to play Overwatch.
Count Stacula. Damn, I take that back. I take back the
That's a
head
better
monkey
name?
being the best name. Count Stacula is amazing.
Pretty good.
How do you keep it real?
How do I keep it real? I don't know. Just have some perspective on life. I don't know. I work with a lot of humble dudes, like legitimate humble dudes. Like everyone there is very passionate. Surround yourself around people who are into the same stuff as you and who also keep it real, so to speak. I don't know. Like just have good people, good friends who are into the same things as you, and they kind of keep you in check. I've seen people in this industry go insane, either with money or fame or a million other things. And I don't think any of that stuff ever really matters to us. We just want to do a good job and entertain people. So like, just keep your focus is very simple. That's really it. Like live to be happy and make sure you enjoy what you're doing. I don't know. It wouldn't make sense to be miserable. I'm always trying to work towards something better, something good. So I don't know. I drive an Accord. It's cool.
So in a short answer, driving a car.
That's how you keep it real. Cook A wants to know, are you over your drug addiction? # sex swing.
Oh, have you guys seen this?
No.
We did a fake rock band integration. It was a real
integration.
integration. We have a fake
You have a fake
band.
band called
band.
Sex Swing.
Yeah, we're a fake band called Sex Swing.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I saw people tweeting images about
Yeah,
sex swing. I didn't get it.
I was a character called the Schling, and I had a heart attack on stage. No, the drug addiction is still real. Drugs are great. Prescriptions. This is legal.
Suck My Magnum, final question of the day, says, how do you feel your change from Inside Gaming to Rooster Teeth has affected your reach?
Oh God, no. The fandom's insane. Going from Machinima is like, I kind of felt like we kept trying to fight for like fandom, like, or we were trying to fight for goodwill. At Rooster Teeth, it just kind of pours onto you, and like people are very supportive and very cool. Hi, puppy, you're so cute.
We're familiar with that. Quite familiar with that.
It is, yeah. It like going to RTX was madness. You guys were there,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Holy crap! It was to see a company take over a town like that is just insanity. It's boosted our reach a lot, and I think a lot of that too is like we get to work with really cool groups like the live action crew, and Achievement Hunter. Like we just have great people we can collaborate off of, and we've been welcomed into the family, which is good. I think that's the hardest thing for new hires and people to come on. So, what was the question again? I forgot.
The reach.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
reach.
difference.
That was a good answer.
Yeah. It's crazy. It blows my mind how many fans we have when we go to different towns and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very. You guys know this. It's surreal.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys do what I do. You just live your life. You're a normal person. You're just a civilian. You're walking around. Somebody like, oh my God. You're like, what I do, take my money. I'm so sorry. I never want to be that asshole where someone comes up and he goes, excuse me. Yeah, I'll take your photo. And they're like, no, I was looking for the street.
No, that's happened before. I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah.
Oh,
like
God.
weird things. I'm just like, where well, because the thing is with me, they'll like get really excited. I'm like, hey, and like I'm never sure if they know who I am because I'm like the fucking other guy. So it's just like, what do you want? Do you know who I am, or do you need something?
That's me usually. I'm very shifty. I'm like,
I need some kind of confirmation that you know exactly what's happening.
well, even in London, Jack and I were sitting next to each other signing stuff, and people would come up, and I'd always ask like, do you want me to sign it too? Because I know Jack's been to the company way longer than me, there's way more Achievement Hunter fans. So I'm like,
2 years ago, you and I did RTX after the Gauntlet.
That's right.
And we sat up, and it would be like one after another would be like, I'm a Greg fan, I'm an Adam fan, and then the other would sit there and be like, I don't know how to interact in this situation. Do you want me to do anything?
There's a lot of photos of us just kind of.
Yeah.
I'll stay on this one. Here, I'm in this one. The weirdest thing for me, and this is like really shitty, is the fact that I live in San Francisco, born and raised in San Francisco. So I deal with like I've grown up here. I went to school here, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. Like I have so much history here of knowing people. And a lot of people, there's a lot of acquaintances. So every once in a while, someone will be like, Tim. And I look over and I'm like, do I know them?
Yeah.
Or
is this a
do
thing?
they just know me?
Sure.
Yeah.
And like a couple days ago, we were walking to Starbucks, and like some car pulls over, just full Asian kids, and they're just like, Tom! And I'm just like, and just like pointed at them, like the point's my go-to, and then they drive off, and Kevin's like, just kind of looked at me like, what was that? I'm like,
they thought
I
you
don't
were
know.
They
That
thought you were
could have
Angelina
been
Jolie, maybe.
anyone I knew from my math class in high school. I don't know. Like I didn't get a good enough look.
Wow, that was way more racist than I think you'll ever think it was.
No. That was
Well,
not
I'm like,
racist.
what does the Asian part make?
No,
Like,
just
what's
Tim
happening?
was the only white guy in
I
his
was
school.
the white guy.
Okay.
All of, like I grew up surrounded. This is my life.
He could have
That
picked
is
any
not-
class.
But he said
But he
math.
stumbled right into that one.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm saying that based on my experience, not on any generalities at all. I went to Lowell High School, which is literally 90% Asian kids.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
You're getting into defensive mode. That's fine. That's on you, not me.
yeah, exactly. Things happen. Man. Things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that topic, this episode, brought to you by Loot Crate. Would you classify yourself as a geek, gamer, or pop culture nerd? Then this is the subscription box for you. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items of gamer and pop culture licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/KFGames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on any new subscription every month. There's a whole bunch of different themes. They're great stuff. This year thus far, there have been crates featuring some exclusive items from Star Wars and Voltron, as well as some epic geek apparel from your favorite shows. A crate all about strategy games, a crate all about covert operations. You know all this stuff. Basically, Loot Crate's your friend. He gives you a bunch of cool stuff every month, and it's a great old time. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it, Jack. It's over.
Damn right.
So
I like how
Loot
you
Crate-
slow down for the Jack reference too.
Yeah.
Did you guys get the Fallout sweater?
No.
Okay.
Christine did. Christine.
Yeah.
got
I've
the
been seeing a lot of
Fallout
people
box.
getting it. I'm like, shit, I wish I
got the
it.
cool
You used to buy it off
Pikachu thing,
Bethesda's
though.
store.
It was a good loot crate.
So go to lootcrate.com/KFGames and enter code KFGames to save $3 on your new subscription today.
Oh man.
Adam,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Hey, thanks for
joining
having me,
us.
guys.
This
This
is a lot of fun. Yeah, another clap.
We like you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're good.
I thought
It's
we-
like you do this podcast thing.
It's a weird. It's a weird thing because the very first time I ever saw Greg, he annoyed the fuck out of me. No, I remember
I
the
do
game.
that.
Remember the game Lair?
Yeah.
And you were holding that like review guide. I'm like, who's this fucking nerd like holding this? Oh, I just want to punch that face. Then we met. I'm like, oh, Greg's really nice.
Yeah. That's how it happens. I usually hate people at first, and then I'm like, oh, I either still hate them or kind of like them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Gamescast. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. We'll be back every day. We'll be here fucking
I love
forever.
you now.
I love you.
Thank you.